Welcome back, everyone, to another Wednesday live stream. It has been a crazy day for me, but I hope everyone's doing well. Everyone's doing well. And I just realized I don't have my lights on the back. Let me turn these lights on real quick. I feel like I'm sitting in the dark and someone's going to come sneak up on me. Hold on, let me turn these on. I've been kind of scrambling around all day and had a pretty exciting day that was not enjoyable. But yes. Let's see. Flight sim, 5 hours, 45 minutes. Here we go. Welcome to the party, everyone. Welcome to the party. Hopefully you guys are ready for some stuff. Oh, I haven't even made the poll yet. See, that's where I'm at. Like, I'm totally behind on everything. I did make the poll, but I haven't put it up here yet. So let me just copy it in here. Are you the only one in the building? There's a few people on the other side of the building in the offices that are about to leave. But I always shut down everything and turn off all the lights before I start the streams because, I don't know, I kind of like being in the dark. Someone's going to sneak up on me. Hold on, just give me a second. I'm just creating the poll. I have it all written out already, so that's at least done. Do we have all that? Let's see. Okay, got the poll up there. So we have 3 different machines we're working on tonight. Maybe we'll get to all 3, maybe we won't, but we will see. It's always an exciting moment whenever we can actually make it through all 3 of them and we fix them all. So it's Crazy Nate's time, Crazy Nate. And I did post a live stream edit today, a little fast paced, just kind of testing out the waters, and we'll see how that performs. Does it look like a little low light? Is it dark in here? Does it look a little extra dark? I don't know. I filmed some videos with the lights off back there. I have plenty of lights here. This is, you know, totally wrapped around me. Well, that's not a wide enough shot, but got any 9520 XPSs? I got one 9530 that we're working on. And so the 3 laptops up there for, what is going on with this? My poll is not illuminated. It's kind of like opaque. Let's see if it's going to show up here. Guess not. So I don't know how I'm going to get the polls on the screen, but it's blending with the chat. Yeah, it's weird. Something's going on with the poll. It's like blending in with the chat. So if you are on YouTube, the vote is for some reason not white for me. It's black or it's opaque, semi-opaque. And I just kind of had to mess around with it to even get it to show up for me. Let me see if I can pull the polls up here. Oh, it doesn't even show up here either. What is going on? I don't know. YouTube bug. We have a new YouTube bug. Is that shirt in your store? I do have one that's, yes, yes. Yeah, I do have one. It's not exactly like this, but I do have it. Twitch poll will be made shortly, so premise should be on it. Poll is up, everyone. So if you're on Twitch, then go ahead and start voting on there. So, okay, backstory on the 3 systems. The Alienware M17 R5 LCD, so basically the machine turns on, I guess, and gives a 2.7 error, which is an LCD not detected error or something like that. My tech had already tested whether or not the screen works on it or not, but we can test that again. And so the LCD circuitry is not working. So I don't know. The second one's 9530, and it's no post after spill, but the customer said that it gives a 1.7 error, which is points to some sort of SPI flash issue, but I mean, it's a spill, so come on, people. And then the last one's an M17 R5, which the customer said that sometimes they would have issues with it posting ever since they got it, but this time it's giving no power at all. So a totally different related issue. But any repair is probably good with you, right? It's black, it's white, who knows? Do. I already voted. All right, so a lot of people are voting already. And just subbed. Nice. Thank you very much. Wife got the Tron style shirt. I did see a female shirt in there. A couple of female shirts got sold, which is nice. That's awesome. Normal color is white here. Or normal color is black for you. Okay. Well, for some reason it's opaque. I can't even pull it up on the screen, but we need more bed bugs. Please, no more bed bugs. Please, please, please. Yeah, the poll is messed up, so if you guys can see it, muscle through it. I got 170 voters. We got 337 people on the chat. And then Twitch, how are we doing? We're doing good? I can't see. Twitch has, it looks like 30 voters at this time, so it looks like most people are voting. No critters. We don't want any bed bugs, so I've had two now that seemed almost like the first one was bed bugs that I had that, I mean, that video was last year. I had one a couple weeks ago that I looked at, and it looked like it was some sort of bed bug. I thought it was a German roach. Who knows? We need more easy burritos. Yeah, because then we can just bam, 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 bam. We can just knock right through them. So, I have, let's see. Do y'all want to open my new oscilloscope real quick while y'all are voting? We got a few minutes here to vote. I got a new oscilloscope. Let me pull up I haven't even opened the box yet. But so here's the new oscilloscope I bought. And it's a, is that Signalent? Is that how you pronounce it? So the SDS 110 or 1104 XE, and there was a couple different versions here on this. So it's a 4-channel, and it has ample memory for storage for actually doing captures, and then it also does on-the-fly SPI decoding and things like that. It's pretty cool. And so I just kept inching up more and more. So I ended up paying $500 for this. I looked at some for $299 or $249, $249, you know, just like $300. And I was like, oh, I might as well get that feature, might as well get that feature. So I have it here sitting next to me. I haven't opened it. I don't know what we're going to do with it right this second. I didn't upgrade to the 200 megahertz. I think 100 megahertz is already overkill for what I'm doing. But, you know, it's just, we can take a quick look at it. We're not going to really need it right this second per se, but... And plus, I'm not very proficient in using these things, so it's not like I'm going to teach you anything, so don't even think that, you know, what I'll do is teach you something. You guys probably know more about it. So whenever I went to ITT Tech in the late 90s, and so they had oscilloscopes there. They were the old tube ones. They were all manual, and that was all I had. So the only oscilloscope, like, training I had was actually in the late 90s on tube ones. So I don't know all these fancy digital ones. Ooh, look at it's pretty. Oh, you can't see how pretty it is. Here, we'll move this out of the way so you can see. Look at that. Look at that. Heavy duty. Duty. I don't know where I'm going to put this thing yet. I don't really have a space for it at this particular moment. Oh, it actually came with 4 probes. I thought I was going to have to buy an extra probe or not, or so. So that's good. That's good. Does it have HDMI out? It has PC out. I don't know if it has HDMI. Let's check. I made sure it had software, PC software that we can do a capture for OBS. But I don't think it has HDMI. Let's switch to overhead here. So, yeah, we have USB A and B. And then we have pass-fail, trig out, and then a LAN connection. Those are the main connections there. And then there's the front. It's actually heavier than I thought. For it being kind of like smaller or thinner, it's like, because I remember the oscilloscopes were like really long. A live unboxing is a first. Yeah, you know, I'm not a big, I wouldn't want to film this and do it to put out. I don't know. I'm not a big unboxer. Plus, again, I don't know what I'm doing with all this stuff. It comes with a manual, it looks like. And a power cord and a USB A to B. So that's what it comes with. Now, I don't know if we're even going to mess with this right now, but I just wanted to at least open it. It's been sitting next to me all week, and I should have gotten it. Oh, it even has a handle. Look. It's portable, Mommy. It's portable. I could take it with me. It's like a boom box. Kind of looks like a boom box. There we go. Yeah. There you go. If anyone remembers those days. It's very similar to that. And we're just going to be listening to radio waveforms. That's it. Or watching radio waveforms. It's sexy. It's sexy. So, plenty of options here. I'm going to have to kind of look up on how to do it. I don't know. Should I smell it and see what it smells like? What? You guys always are. I need to get some smell-o-vision for the stream. Oh, and then what are these? Let's see. What does it have? HDMI? It doesn't have HDMI. It only has USB, but it has a capture software. I have software that I can use through the capture software in order to put it in OBS. And the probes are Probalicious. Look nice. 1x, 10x, has a couple different tips here. Does it have a clip end? Yeah, so it has a clip end on it right now. And then that's just the pointing one. I love new tools. Yeah, only if you know how to use them. So if I turn this on right now, I would probably look like a fool. Dennis, tier 1 sub, thank you for 2 months. Thank you so much. So we're not gonna mess with this right now. I just wanted to open it. I thought that would be fun, and then maybe we'll deal with it later. But I feel like this seems pretty substantial for $500. $500. What do y'all think about that? HDMI, the front bottom. Oh, it does have HDMI. That's S-Bus. Is that the same as HDMI? Why would it? That's weird. Is S-Bus HDMI? Doesn't make sense to me. What does that mean? Amazon's the shot. Looks nice. No. That's what I was thinking. I was like, so they want to pay the HDMI royalty fees to use an HDMI port, but then, oh, it's an HDMI bypass. What, that means I could put a picture on my screen here? I got a picture, I can't believe. Yours was a bit more than that. You probably have one that's $3,000, $2,000. HDMI royalty bypass. It's a short bus. It's the short bus. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so that could be for shenanigans later if we want, if we get to that point. I don't know how late I'm going to go tonight. I had a hell of a day today. My website got shut down for the day. Never had this happen before. So if you're not familiar, I specialize only in Dell and Alienware stuff, right? Alienware parts, and I have, I don't know, 45,000 SKUs, pictures, all the descriptions, all that stuff. I was, and this happens every few years. We have an actual reach out from Dell Legal to verify a few different parts that we're selling on our site as being OEM. And so they shot me an email last week and said, hey, these 3 batteries are you selling? I need you or you need to take them down, they're counterfeit. And I said, no, they're not counterfeit. I have serial numbers, we purchased them on this date, and they do this every few years. This isn't a big deal usually. And I just replied straight to Dell Legal. I gave them all the serial numbers. I said their purchase dates, all that stuff. And I didn't hear back from them. And then they contacted my host and told my host to do a DMCA takedown of those products. And then the next day I emailed them. This was Friday. I emailed the legal again. I said, hey, do you need anything else? I got the invoices. What else do you need? No reply. I emailed Monday. No reply. I emailed Tuesday. I said, hey, I'm just circling back. Do you need anything else from me? Nope. And then this morning at 8:11 this morning, my host shut down my entire website. And they didn't just block those 3 pages. They shut down the entire site and took held all my pictures. I have 45,000 products with like 5 pictures on each one. So they held all of my pictures captive. They held all my data captive. And And so, yeah, I didn't have my website. I get about 12,000 people a day to the site. So I didn't have anybody there from 8 a.m. to about 2 p.m. It was like 2:08 whenever it came back up to the Central Time. And I have 20 employees just standing around doing nothing because they can't access the website. They can't do anything. They can't, there's nothing. Nothing. And it's funny because I contacted, I emailed the lawyer again. I said, or Dell Legal, I said, hey, my host just took down my site. Are we good? Or what's going on? And they were like, oh, yeah, you're fine. There's no issue. And we didn't tell them to take down the site. We only wanted you to take down those pages, but you're actually perfectly fine. All your stuff you're selling is legit. We verified all your information. But they never contacted my host. So my host took down the site, and then I'm forwarding stuff. And so it's this whole thing, and then it's this long, like, bringing the site back up thing, and it was just like, so I'm caught in the middle. I probably lost, I don't know, $8,000 in sales. I don't know. It's maddening. It's maddening. Yeah. So anyway, I am so glad that it's back up. So you know what I need tonight? I need a win, guys. I need a win. We need to win on these laptops. So we have 3 laptops, and you know, if we can fix those, I'll be happy. I'm not suing anybody. I'm not doing anything. And it's funny because I was talking to some people and they said, you need to contact your lawyer. And I was like, you know what? I've been in business 24 years. I don't even have a lawyer. I've never even needed a lawyer in my whole life, ever. So, like, I mean, I could sit there and start going after them, doing different things. It's like, I'm just happy the site's back up. I'm just going to deal with it right now. And then I'm contacting that lawyer or the Dell Legal and trying to figure out exactly what can we do to prevent this from happening again, and try to figure out exactly like what happened in the loop or what. So I don't know. It's are those batteries legit? Yeah. So that's, and the thing is like, I'm not even mad at Dell Legal because here's what I want. I want them to go after all these sites that are selling all this fake stuff that as OEM. That's the problem. And I get what they're doing. And I'm perfectly fine with that. And for me to just say, yeah, I bought these. Here you go. Here's the actual invoices from Dell and all the stuff, right? Dell should compensate me for that. Yeah, they'll do that. I'm sure they get right on that, right? Yeah, they sent a DMCA takedown to my host, you know. So yes, and that was the thing. Is it real or is it fake? They're trying to make me prove it's real or fake. You know what? In the listing itself, with the pictures of the products, it actually we have a picture that shows the battery, and then we're circling each item on the battery saying, how can you tell this is an OEM battery? And we're circling the logo, we're circling the serial number, we're pointing out when the manufacture date was and all this different stuff. So anyway, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I really should be whitelisted. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah, that's what I should do. But let's get a win. You better call Saul or Louis Rossmann. I wonder, yeah, Louis may be right on top of that. All right, let's get a win in here. So we do have 3 laptops on the docket. They're actually pretty closely matched on the voting here, but it looks like the M17 R5 with no power has the highest percentage at 45%. Second place is going to be the XPS 9530 at 43%. So, which is the one that the spill. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. We'll start with that 17 R5, which is in every video and every stream and all this stuff. No vote on Twitch. Twitch is already done. Yeah, the vote ended about a few minutes ago when I was ranting and raving about all my life. So let me grab that M17 R5. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. All the viewers should email Dell, let them know. Well, you might end up causing more problems. I was contemplating even saying anything. I just, you know, but sometimes you need to vent a little bit, and I just don't know. It's just, it's not, it's, the thing is that the lawyer, I replied every single day, and was even, I even emailed my host originally and was just like, hey, I just want to keep you in the loop. I've already contacted the lawyer and, you know, Dell Legal. Like, I was transparent. I have all my emails saying I was transparent and like on top of it over and over again. So it's just something got lost in the loop, and then that's it. So my host's policy, I think, is to take down the entire site if those 3 pages are not taken down. So it was my responsibility to take down those pages immediately until that whole dispute was taken care of. And because I didn't do that, they take down the whole site. That's their rule. And then Dell Legal was just didn't reply until I told them that my whole site got taken down. And then they were like, oh, no, you're fine. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. And I have a M17 R5 here with no power. Now, can we get a win tonight? Can we get 3 wins tonight? Yeah, don't spam it, please. Please, please, please. I don't want to get in any trouble here. Okay, so we have, let me make sure we know personal information. Okay, we're good. So if you guys want to read all the words, you can. Pretty much the entire time I've had this laptop, it rarely starts up on the first time. In the past, the screen would go black, but the keyboard would light up with a bunch of colors. This machine is just plagued with issues, so I don't know what to do. But holding on the power button, and then sometimes it would do it 3 times in a row, and then it will work, and then tried sending it to Dell with no luck, and now today it's completely dead. So let's figure out why it's completely dead. Let's figure out why it's completely dead. So here we go. Y'all ready for this? All right, new day and another laptop that needs to be saved. And this time we have an Alienware M17 R5. Now this one apparently has been a problem child for quite a bit of time. This customer says that this laptop doesn't turn on a lot of the time, and it's ever since he got it. But the other day, it just never turned on ever again, no power at all. And so I haven't taken a look at this yet. Let's take a look together and see if we can get this figured out. Okay, something. All right, let's, first thing we want to do is see if it turns on. No power there. We got our power meter here. It's all reset, ready to go. If we plug in the power, we want to see what it will do, how much current it pulls, and if it will try to power on. Now, when I plug this in, we do see the spike power meter, you know, the graph actually went up, but it went to a flat line. But the current stayed at 0. And when it stays at 0 like that, we know that there's some sort of issue deeper down in there. But we know that the DC jack is attached. You see how it's actually pulling some current when we plug it in and some not there. So it means that it's actually going to some sort of circuitry that's detecting that there is a fault on the board. The current, right, where is it at? There you go. The current's supposed to be at 0.02 or 20 milliamps. That's going to be the resting current for this board. And sometimes you'll spike up a little higher than that, but it should rest there at 20 milliamps. And if it's not doing that, that's usually indicative of some sort of short on the motherboard. And so let's open it up, take a look inside. Is it LLM? So this one's not going to be an LLM situation because it doesn't have it. So leaking liquid metal is the LLM that we're referring to. And this one is indicative or has a problem. Well, this one has so many problems. This board has so many problems. So there's common things. There's a MOSFET shorted through the CPU. We had the video I put it out today was the same model, and it was actually a short on the 5-volt power rail, like near the USB or something like that. The other common thing apparently is a Wi-Fi card. A blown power management chip could do that too. So, and I've seen that blown on this also. So let's see. And the bottom is off. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. It's like brand new. It's like so clean, no issues, and yet it has issues. That's the kind of the MO of this machine. Well, the battery is plugged in. Let's just measure the voltage on the battery and see what we have there. If we have 0 on the battery, then we know that we probably have something else going on. So I'm just going to kind of measure the outside pins here. 0.02 volts, so not even a volt. This thing should be 11.6 volts or 11 something volts. And that means that there's probably the battery's actually shut off. Do I work on graphics cards? No, only Dell and Alienware motherboards. That's it. Let's plug in the power, and then let's just measure the voltage here coming into the motherboard and see how far it goes before it shuts off, because we know that it's probably not getting very far, but let's get it on the microscope and take a closer look. That's a nice motherboard. All right, so here's where the DC jack connects to the motherboard. We have a few inductors, and then we have some MOSFETs. The MOSFETs are responsible for protecting the motherboard, so they'll shut off. They're protection MOSFETs. And they'll shut off before, if it detects a short on the board and protects the board. So I have the charger plugged in. I'm just going to put my probe on ground, and then we'll measure here. Check for hot glue. Oh my gosh, did you guys see that? Last Sunday we had a hot glued BIOS chip. I'm editing that one down too. We're gonna get a video out of that one for sure. Yeah, so we're gonna have to check on that. I don't know who would hot glue it. You know, upon further thinking about that laptop, I think that someone must have been trying to fix the thing, and then they were like, it's dead, and then they were like, here, I'm gonna sell it. I don't feel like soldering the BIOS chip back on. Let's just hot glue it in place so they have the BIOS chip and then send it off. Something like that must have happened, because the customer who sent it in is a repair shop, and he said he didn't mess with it at all. He bought it and then tried the DC jack, and that was it. So, all right, so we have 20 volts coming in through the DC jack. It's going through these 4 inductors, and we still have 20 volts here. So it's going to go through in a pair of MOSFETs, and then the output of this MOSFETs should output something. We got 0 there, and we got 0 here. So it should make it all the way to this current sense resistor, and we don't have anything. We got nada. We got 0.01. So does that count as something? Maybe. But I'd say we have nada. So we have nothing going on there. Now, why is that turned off? Why are these MOSFETs turned off and not allowing any voltage to go through? We do have a power management chip that's in charge or controlling those MOSFETs. It's going to be right here. And this chip, the power management, or PMIC or PMC, however you want to call it, is in charge of that. So it's detecting that. So most likely, I would guess that there's a short right here. If we measure right here, there'll be a short to ground, or there's going to be a short on a lower power rail, but I think this power rail is going to be shorted. So we're going to go into continuity mode, where we touch those probes together, they beep, and one side on ground, and we'll measure right here. And, oh no, we do have a short, but it's an 8 ohm short. 8 ohms, people. Whoa. Okay, so we come here, we don't have a short, but right after this we do, and it's 8 ohms. Okay, so 8 ohms is quite high for a short. If you know what we're talking about, yeah, it's an 8 ohm speaker. Think about that, right? All right, 8 ohms. That's a weird one. So usually whenever we're measuring, we find a short on a power rail. We're trying to figure out why. So if we have a power rail that's supposed to be 20 volts, and it's actually having an 8 ohm short to ground, so there's something that's only measuring 8 ohms. A lot of times when we have like a cracked capacitor or something like an easy pizza, it's just going to be 0 almost, just like a dead short. If you have it going through the, I do have the battery plugged in, so that may mess with our measurements, but we will see. If we have it going through the CPU, we'll usually have right around 3 ohms or 4 ohms. If we have it going through the GPU, shorting to ground, we usually have like 0.3, 0.4. So what? Yeah, I unhook the battery. Let's see what it does. It may be a little different. You never want to measure resistance whenever the battery's plugged in or with voltage in there. So let's plug it back. Well, let's measure one more time. Still the same, 8.2 ohms. All right, so bingo was my name. So 8 ohms is really high is my whole point. What is that? Does that mean that we have a partial short in something? That's kind of what that would mean. Or it's a short on a lower power rail, so it's shorting through something else to get to something else, right? So we're going to be stabbing it. I like the idea of it being RAM, because this is DDR5, and DDR5 is just, I see so much problems with DDR5. And what is it? 8 gig sticks. These are 8 gig sticks. DDR5 has its own little power regulator on here, and I'll see these things go out. And you just send 5 volts to this chip, and then it will actually divide it up. So let me just take the RAM out. We're going to start unplugging things is what we're going to do before we start stabbing O's. Stabbing it. Inject power and measure the resistance. So here, I took that out. I took the RAM out. Let's measure again. I just want to see if it changes. Still at, well, now we're at 8 ohms. We dropped it by 0.2. What does that mean? Pop the RAM. All right, let me take out this SSD. We can't inject anything with an SSD in here. Okay, the SSD is out. RAM is out. Measure again. Still at right around 8. And did anyone say the Wi-Fi card? Let's see if it's the Wi-Fi card. And the Wi-Fi card is out. All right, let's measure again. And we have 8 still. Now I kind of want to put the RAM back in and see if it goes back up. You remember because it was at 820 or 8.2? And then it went down when we took out the RAM? This may be a clue for us. If it goes back up to 8.2, that means we have something on the 5-volt power rail maybe? Nope, still at 8. I don't know. Okay, it's gonna be time to inject some voltage soon, but let me pull this rear cover off too. We're gonna have to do a little bit of physical damage or physical inspection, figure out if something is exploded or cracked or blown up, and then we can inject some voltage. Something on the RAM, well, that's what I was thinking, it was something on the memory power rail, but I don't see it. Oh, there's nothing in there. It's not populated. I can take it out though. Yeah, they put the heat sinks there, so then you can put 2 SSDs in there, but if you don't do it, then you don't do it. So it's higher now. It keeps going higher and lower. Remove the battery. The battery is unplugged. Battery is unplugged, so nothing to see there. Test for embedded RAM. There's no embedded RAM. We already took the RAM out. It's a fuse! By golly, that would be amazing if it's a fuse. I wish they had fuses. I wish all motherboards had fuses. If you flick it, then we know it's not plugged in. Okay, let's get the back cover off of here. All right, rear cover's off. All right, so now I want to be able to look at the main part under this board here. Now, there's not much we can measure on this side. That's the problem, because all the stuff's on the other side of the board. But we can take a look at whatever we can take a look at with. Smell it again. You guys love the smelling. I'm telling you, we need some smell-o-vision. All right, let's see if there's anything. Nope. Smells quite pleasant. Smells like electronics. Smells like electronics. I need a sip of my green drink. What year is this laptop? 2023, I believe. Let's see. It's not telling me, but I think it is 2023. This has a Ryzen 9 6900HX, or is it HX? Anyway, it has a 6900 and DDR5. Pretty common. Okay, so let's just look around real quick, and then we'll just inject some voltage, and then we probably won't be able to see anything on this side or measure anything on this side. But, you know, we might be able to see something. Who knows? Hey, look, there's a fuse right there. Is it that fuse on the daughter board? Nah. Fuses don't cause shorts. And that's weird. Little solder joint there, but that's fine. What else we got? What else we got? Where did we have a short last time? Look, there's a couple fuses over here. I mean, there's a lot of fuses near all these connectors, like for the LCD screen and camera, and what else? Mainly those two things. All right, I don't see anything there. It smells like alien butt. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy, I tell you. Chat says the darndest things. Oh, gosh, let me know if I'm moving too fast. I know that sometimes the microscope camera doesn't keep up. Does that power management chip look okay? I guess we could actually measure the power management chip too. That would be a good place to start. Figure out voltages we have there. Let's see, pin 1, it's gonna be on that back row there. Okay, yeah, let's do a little poking on the power management chip, if you don't mind. Let me get arranged here. This is a 95522AH. If you want to go look that up, 95522AH. I believe I know the pin out of that chip, that style chip. So we will see. Check for alien probing. I probe aliens for science, I tell you. All right, so we should have 20 volts here. Okay. Yeah, so we're not even getting 20 volts over there. Well, okay. Definitely not going to be a power management chip. Why don't we have 20 volts there even? Oh, we have the short. I totally forgot we had a short. That's so funny. I was like, oh, wait a minute. We have a short. Okay. 8 ohm short. But 8 ohm short. This is... You guys are looking at me like, you should check the voltage on there. Why is the voltage not there? All right, let's inject some voltage. I didn't see anything on the board that's obvious, and it's been a long day, people. It's been a long day. So we'll get out my voltage injection tool and get the thermal camera fired up. Are you fired up? Are you fired up? I don't have the thermal camera set up, though, like always. Let's start again. So 95522AH, yeah, ISL 9552AH. Now, it may or may not be the chip as the issue. Maybe this 8 ohm short is in the chip for all I know, but we want to see what's getting hot. And when we plug in the charger, because it's sitting at 0, we're not going to get anything hot from the charger being plugged in, but we're going to get something hot whenever we inject some voltage. But because we have 8 ohms, that's a lot. 8 ohms is a lot. So even if we put a volt in there, we're not going to get anything. So coffee rebooted. So let's switch to thermal camera. There we go. And let's put the injection tool up there. So in general, we don't want to go over a volt, or at least that's my general rule. So we're at the start at 1 volt, but that's about as low as you can go for 8 ohms. So I'm going to put one side of the injection tool on ground, and then we will inject where we measured that 8 ohm short. And we're getting barely any current going in there. You know what? We're not going to be able to see anything with 8 ohm. I mean, nothing's, it's saying 0 still. I mean, I can hear the pitch change a little bit. Make it remember, probe it harder. Make it remember, Scruff. Let me raise this up. We'll see if we can get a higher overhead shot of the board. And if we go above 1 volt, I only want to do that if we know that the CPU or GPU are not heating up. So we're going to have to pull the board to get to that point. And so I don't see anything unless I'm missing something here. The first stream, hey, welcome. If it's your first stream, I'm happy to see you here. We do these twice a week. I know a lot of people, there's some people love streams, some people don't like streams. They are a little bit slower, and I'm a little bit more wacky. I don't stay on point a lot of times. I'm always gabbing with the chat and getting sidetracked, and then also forgetting what I'm saying and doing. And it's also on days that I've been here for a long time. I've been here for 12 hours right now. All right, unplug the touchpad. Yeah, let's unplug some stuff. Let's do that. I'm going to unplug the touchpad. I'm going to unplug the keyboard. What else can we unplug? The screen's unplugged already. Unplug the speakers. Unplug the fans. And then now let's measure again. What we're trying to do is isolate it down to the motherboard itself. 8 ohms is weird, again. So it could be a touchpad. It could be something like that. Let's see. There we go. Now we're down to 7.6. Does that mean that capacitors are discharging? That's why it's getting lower and lower? I mean, why is it getting lower? There's a bad coil or inductor. You know, a coil inductor, those act more or less like a wire themselves. So it's, you know, if the windings are shorted out, then you'll still get voltage through there. It's not going to become a short because it's not hooked to ground. You know, because when you're trying to find something that's causing a short, it's going to be connecting to the actual positive portion of that power rail to ground, whatever it is. Since it's 8 ohms, it's going to be putting an amplifier on it and listen to some music. Put the oscilloscope on it, we can listen to some, or waveforms, look for some waveforms. Let me pull this motherboard out. There's nothing we're going to be able to do. You had some buffering. I haven't lost any frames yet, so I think we're good with the buffering. Nothing to see here, nothing to do there. Moving on, liquid metal. There's no moving liquid metal in this machine because it doesn't have it. No liquid metal to be seen at all, to speak of. And I'm very happy actually. Oh, what? Wait. Is that right? Hold on. Okay, never mind. For some reason, I thought I saw a screw underneath this motherboard, which meant that somebody had taken this board out, but I don't think this motherboard has been taken out, which is a first, right? Everyone works on boards before they send them to me. So I think I'm happy. Some people are talking about buffering. Maybe it was a YouTube thing because my stuff should be clear here. Check for resistance values on each of the power rails. Okay, we will do that once we pull the board. There's nothing to see because the only coils we have here are two power rails. Is the main power rail and this the battery charge coil, which I mean I haven't measured, but the battery charge coil is open. There's nothing there, and there's nothing else here. I mean I can measure like LCD. This is the main power rail right here that powers the. That's the GPU, yeah. So those are the inductors or the capacitors that are on the main power rail for the GPU. It's shorted to the heatsink. Now we have seen on this model, maybe it's this model, there's a issue where the heatsink. Oh, it could be if this person has some intermittent issue going on, but they have an issue where the heatsink is like interacting or touching it's a double diode, I think, and starts shorting out over there and causes issues. And the later models, they actually had a cutout in the heatsink to actually fix that issue, but the earlier models, I don't think they did that. So that could explain why this customer had some sort of intermittent issues over the years, and so sometimes it would work and sometimes it won't, and then now it's dead. Desolder some jumpers to isolate the zones. Deep thought, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this board is actually has a bunch of these jumper areas where they're kind of set up like this, right? So there's a power rail here and another power rail here, and then that's what bridges them together, and they put like a solder ball across there, and if you clear that off of there, then you can isolate different power rails, which is really nice. Very useful. So deep in thought, send the search party. The secret screw. Yeah, where's the secret screw? They're over here, I think. Dave's not here, man. Okay. And the motherboard is still in because I have to unhook that. All right. And the motherboard is out. All right, looks good, clean. I don't see any liquid damage. I don't see any signs that anybody's opened this laptop up in the past, so that's always good news. And, oh, did we check for signs of punching of the keyboard? This doesn't look too bent. Sometimes we have a matter of people punching the keyboard. Oh, and this, I believe this is the model that is, oh no, this one has a different heatsink. So there's a model right here where the heatsink was interacting with the power rail for the RAM, I think. But, so here's our 3 volt, our 5 volt, and our 1.8. And there's another power rail here. If you saw the video this afternoon, this looks a little bit different than the layout of the other board. So this is a different version of the board that I worked on earlier. Nathan, what's been your favorite computer ever to work on? Ooh. The one that I love working on, that I like, that I'm happy. You know what I really liked was that one where I fixed the BitLocker. But you're just talking about like favorite laptops that are reliable and stuff. I actually like the XPS 9700s. Those are, for the most part, pretty reliable and easy to fix. And trying to think of like, those are like my favorite computers. But the X17s are my favorite design for the cooling system, and the flaws on those are very far in between, except for the leaking liquid metal. Those things are notorious for leaking liquid metal. But okay, you guys want to vote on this, or guess which one's what? This is a 5 volt, 3.3, and 1.8. I don't know what this one is, but where do you think the short's going to be? Do you think it's going to be on one of these? So you can just kind of, I don't know, take your guess. You can just say it in chat, and I'm about to poke. Oh man. 5. All right, here we go. We'll see if 5. No 5. Okay. Ready? 3.3. Nope. 1.8. Nope. None of those. What about this guy? Nope. Are we in the right mode here? We're in the right mode. So none of these are shorted, which is kind of surprising to me. So it's not shorted to another power rail. Is that what that's saying? What about under here? What about this one? Nothing here. 20 or 200 ohms. That's high enough. What about this one over here? We're going to take off the heatsink and then inject voltage and just make sure we're not going through a CPU or something. But there's another coil under here. I'm very, oh, what was that? What? 27 ohms, so this is going to be VRAM, so that's fine. It's none of them, I tell you. Shorted EC chip. Here's the EC. Do you think the EC would have the symptoms of intermittent and then dead one day? Maybe. All right, I don't know about that. Let's just take this heatsink off and do our injection now that we've kind of determined it's not any of those power rails. I'm pretty surprised. I can see other people are surprised too, so. Just speed through this, that way you don't have to watch it. Watch me turn some screws. Might still need to check the shorts on the case. Good point. All right, so now that the motherboard is out, we'll take this off. All right, heatsink is off, and I just tore up some of this pad when I pulled it off because it's actually hard to get off, slide off sometimes, so it kind of grabs onto this. So let me move this out of the way. So we'll have to fix this one pad that goes right here. All right, so we have, this is all AMD on this machine. So we have an AMD, I think it was the 6900, it could be the 6700. Which is it? 6700. And then this is the something something. The AMD something. It doesn't have anything on the die. It's usually written on the side. So I don't know what that code name is, but it's an AMD something. So it's two AMDs. Let's just make sure that these coils don't match that 8 ohm resistance before we proceed. We've got 3.34, 3.4, whatever it takes. So CPU is not going to be the match. Let me check the iGPU. Where's the iGPU? Ah, it's the iGPU. iGPU is 8.2. Hopefully that beeping is not annoying. I don't know a way of turning it down, but we have these first 4 stages or phases that are powering the CPU, and then we have this last one that I think is for the integrated graphics that is on the GPU. And if we measured that, we're getting, well, we were getting 8 something, 7 something. Let me measure to the main power rail with that. See if we can figure that out. It looks a little spotty. This is it right here. So these are all tied together. The output's all tied together, but this is on its own, and it has a little bit higher resistance than the main core. And these are going to be the input capacitors that power the main or from the main power rail right here. So that's the main power rail track. Okay. Why are we up to 11? No, we're up to 8. Okay. So now what I want to see is I want to see if this to here is 0. If I measure from here to here and it's 0, then we know that this is shorted. Boom! Wow. So it's 0. So that means that we have voltage coming from the main power rail here, going through this MOSFET that way, and going through this inductor, and then going to the integrated graphics on the CPU. The CPU's integrated graphics. Don't see it very often. That's actually a very rare thing to see. Is that a first time? I don't know if I've even done I've done a video maybe on one integrated graphics that's blown up, but now we can actually add that to our list of things where we're kind of thinking, because we know that a lot of times CPU voltages, I mean CPU resistance is going to be lower, right? 3 to 4, right? Or 2 to 4 ohms. But whenever we were said 8 ohms, we're like, what could that be, right? And then it was like, oh, the integrated graphics. So, got some skills. All right, so if we pull that off, the board should be fixed, right? And then we just run with no integrated graphics. Or we put the new one on there, the board fires up, and the integrated graphics still works, and the CPU is fine. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? All right, so 86, what is it, a 8694? What kind of chip is it? Do y'all remember? Do you remember? I don't know, because we'll need to put a brand new one on here, right? Brand new. Is it going to show me? Is it going to refill itself? So it's a MP8694. And we have brand new ones, I do declare. Wolf! Oh, there it is. Thank you, Wolf. Thank you for that kind donation. Let's go ahead and pull this off of here and get it replaced and see if Baba is your uncle. The new flux. I would pull it and test it the proper way. A proper test. All right. Let me move all my drinks out of the way here. All right, so we're doing 450 degrees C, 60% air. What I want to be mindful of is we have a USB port here. So what do? We just kind of try to aim our air in a way where we're not going to end up hitting that directly. In general, I try not to blow it right at the CPU, but we'll just kind of blow it in a different direction here. So I'm just going to preheat the board. We'll add a little bit of flux, Black Horse flux. There's no chance. Well, there is a chance that the integrated graphics survived because the board is not turning on. Now, if the board was shorting out the AC adapter, there's no chance that it survived. But because the AC adapter is turning off the charger, well, no, because the MOSFETs are not allowing current to flow, so the protection MOSFETs are being enabled, then there's a chance that it's going to work. That's going to be fine. That's the whole purpose of having those MOSFETs, is they protect the board from having more issues, because it's going through and testing different things, and if it sees that short, then it shuts it off. All right, let's see what we can do here. The board's getting hot. These are thick boards, so it takes a while, even at 450 degrees C. There we go. We have that MOSFET is off of there. Now, there's no physical damage to this. You're not going to be able to tell. But I can tell because I put an X on it, or I put an arrow, more or less. But okay, I'm going to leave that off of there for a second. Let's go back over and measure our main power rail, which we can measure right there, but I'm just going to go back to where we started. Well, the whole journey began. It's right over here. And the journey began right here at this current sense resistor. Here we go. And this short is gone. I can't believe. So we have resolved the short, but now we need to replace it. Replace it with what? A brand new one, of course. Hey, Nathan Premise. Wes is in the building. Laptop issues on my phone. PM me if you have any questions. All right, Wes. I sent Wes the laptop and it's working, but you're having laptop issues? Laptop issues, so, okay, all right. Well, that is no good. I just sent him the laptop. Now, you're telling me that it has issues? I don't like that. All right, let's see if we can find some 8694s. Here we go. Brand new set of 8694s, which is the MOSFET, the monolithic MOSFET. Let's grab a new one of those out of this pack here. There we go. I could just pull it from a donor board, but when you have brand new ones, you might as well just install brand new ones. Or I could pull it from Soren's box. Does anyone know if all of Soren's stuff in his box is good or not? Does anyone know who Soren is? Laptop Repair School, of course. So Soren has a box, and it's just filled with stuff where he just throws it in there, and he's like, and it's good. And then he puts it on there, and I'm like, oh no. So here's my box, by the way. I do have a box. It's right here. This is my Soren box, because I'll put a chip on, and if it doesn't fix the issue, then I put the one I took off over here. And so then theoretically it should still be good because I'm just transplanting something and trying to identify something. And so that becomes the, it should be good pile, but it's never 100%. So in general, I don't grab from over there unless I really need it. I saw that once in a video. Yeah, he grabbed a power management chip, I think, and he changed out 2 of them, and then they both were bad or something like that. No spam in chat, please. It tastes and smells terrible. You know, spam, I don't know if I've ever had spam. I know spam's like, you know, you can fry it, you can cook it. There's like so many, it's almost like, you know, soy or tofu or whatever. You can do a bunch of stuff with it, right? But I've never had it. All right, what am I doing here? Get off there. What I want to do is I want to pretend this. So the act of putting solder on all these pads ahead of time helps it out. So I need to do that. Let me clean my tip. 8 ohms. We didn't even need to inject voltage to find that 8 ohms. We didn't need to do it. Spam is not bad as an ingredient, right? It's not the main course. All right, so, oof. Let me get my air on. Spam fries. I would never taste chat. All right, so because this is a new chip, like I said, we just need to put a bunch of solder on these pads here, and I'm just putting a little bit on my tip, and then we're just going to touch all these. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to get them a little bit on there. There we go. Just a happy amount. There we go. All right, and there's solder already on the board. I know most people would clean that off and try to redo it, but because the way I handle this is I like having half here, half there. Now, if we have it where we have to put the fresh amount here, a lot of times you can't get enough to stick to the board or have a large enough amount, but whenever you leave the solder on there, then it actually works better. Now, where's pin 1? I have no idea. Where's pin 1 on here? I can't. Usually there's a mark. Do you guys see the mark? There's no mark here. Unless this is our pin 1 mark right there. Let me just look what direction these are. I can see the writing. There we go. Pin 1's here. So that's which direction we need to put this. Oh, and I can see the writing now. Okay. Perfect. So that's going to go just like that. Can y'all kind of see that? Yeah, follow the letters. Follow the letters. All right, we're ready. So I like to preheat the area, get this solder melted, and then once this is melted, then I'll stick it down on there. We don't want to, well, some people will just put the chip down first and heat the whole thing, but I don't like to make my chip go crack or go kaboom by doing this, so. I'm just gonna move it around a little bit. Pads tell you which way it goes. Oh, I guess so, yeah, this one does have a pad orientation because there's those 2 pins on that side. Smarty pants. Look at the bottom, I tell you. You idiot, Stimpy. All right, so now this is hot enough. No, sir. Don't like it at all. All right, see if we can get that to sit on there properly. We actually haven't put enough flux. So let's see if we can get that to go. All right, I'm just gonna tap it. There we go. Just kind of see how it's resting in the right spot. That's what we want. And you guys like that? I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. So let's see if I can get rid of that. Of course, it's going to stand up even higher. I got to put a little bit of flux on there to get rid of that. Look at that. I keep putting more in there. Like, I swear I have no solder on my tip. Get off of there. Okay. Happy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Hey, isn't that from Ren and Stimpy also? Where am I coming with all these Ren and Stimpy references? Oh my gosh. Remind you to check the email. Okay. When do you need me to check the email, though? Remind you to check your email about something. Okay. I can check that in a second. Give me a moment. All right, we're going to clean up. We're just using a toothbrush. I don't have an autographed one in my hand right now, but I do have some in the arsenal. Okay, so that's all good to go. All right, so at this point in the show, in the adventure, I'm going to reassemble this, and we're going to see if we get picture. And if we do get picture, that means that the integrated graphics GPU or GPU is working. Can we get a vote? Can I get a vote? Oh, darn it. We still have that other vote up. Let me take that down. So let's get a vote going to figure out if you think that the laptop is going to post. Is it going to post? And I will start assembling. And the way I'm going to deal with this right now is I'm not going to worry about replacing these pads right this second. Well, I can put this stuff back on here a little bit. But what I do the next day, so if this does end up working, I'll take it all apart and I'll redo all this tomorrow. Will it post? Will it post? So post stands for power on self-test. So what we're trying to determine is, did I fix the laptop or not, people? Did I fix it or not? Now, we know it's going to turn on. We know the keyboard's going to light up. I know that's going to happen. But is it going to give us picture? I can't believe. That's what I'm concerned with. That's what I want to know. Do I need a win today? I do need a win today. Wolf just donated 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Now, you lucky contestants do not have to sit through commercials. Thank you so much for that, Wolf. Thank you so much. Positivity. Give me some positivity. Nate, the PC you sent, did all resolutions work properly when you sent it? Well, I don't know if all the drivers were installed, because I just threw that SSD in there and you said you were going to wipe it, but I just had an SSD that had a OS on it, so I didn't necessarily go through and test all of that. But yeah, I mean, the thing worked. Are you in Linux or are you in Windows? All right, so that's done. Donated 10 bucks. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, 80% so far, 70% are saying it's going to work. So there is a chance that it won't work. I heard some people in the chat saying that there's no chance in double HE double hockey sticks it will work. It's a big pizza. It's the biggest pizza there is. Ours is. Are the fans clean? The fans look pretty clean. I mean, the thing is that when I fix this thing like this, I have to take it all back apart tomorrow and kind of finalize and put fresh heatsink compound on and do all that stuff. But we're not going to sit there and clean all that on a stream, because this is all about diagnosing issues, not putting me to slave labor work. Okay. Will it post? Will it post? So a laptop posting means power on self-test. So it means that will the laptop power on and run its self-test and like get a screen. So if you're not familiar with the word post, it just means power on self-test. So if you think this thing's going to turn on and work, then say yes. If you don't think it's going to work, then say no. Dell has stopped using liquid metal. This machine is the Ryzen edition, and they don't do liquid metal on it. They put it on the i9 boards and the Ultras and things like that, the highest end Intel, but they don't do it on these AMDs. I'm trying to think of if there is an AMD that they do it on, but this one, I don't think they've ever done it on this one. Okay. We got enough screws on there. Oh, we need RAM. Where you at, RAM? You're my boy, RAM. Where you at? There you are. Okay, so we got a lot of people saying yes. Now, if you can't see the vote on YouTube, there's doing something funky with the actual vote window. It's all like opaque or transparent, so you gotta have to look for it. And on Twitch, we have about 18 voters and 123 viewers. So if you're on Twitch and you haven't voted yet, go ahead and go do that. It's just for fun. It's for science, people. It's for science. Okay, because I'm about to plug this thing in. Plug it in, plug it in. All right, so I don't even need to, no screwdriver in the list. I don't have a screwdriver in the list, no. This screwdriver is one I bought like, I don't know, almost 20 years ago. And it's actually from Dell. Are y'all ready? Can you explain the Scotch pattern you use for the to locate the bad MOSFET? The hopscotch pattern? Yes, I will. You're talking about for the just picking the MOSFETs to actual view, or what? Because remember I talked about there's 5 MOSFETs on the CPU. 4 of them are actually hooked together, so they all have the same output, so I can measure any of those and I'll have the same measurement. And then there's a one loner, so I was like, I'll measure the outside. Usually it's the outside is going to be a loner, so it's going to be either this side, it's going to be on this side. So I measured here, and then I measured an outside, and I measured outside, and I found the one that had the higher. So if that makes sense on my hopscotch. All right, I'm plugging it in. Y'all ready? All right, so if you haven't voted, too bad. All right, 0.02, that's good. Now what we want to see is that when we open the lid, we should have some current. Look at that. And I can hear fan spin. I see keyboard backlight. Now I did suspect this was going to happen. My assumption was we would get power on, we would get it working, but will we get a screen right here? Will we get a screen? Come on. Utes. What's a ute? Excuse me, youths. Talking about my cousin Vinny. I love that movie. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Will we have picture? We got something here. Was that error? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4? 2, 4. All right, so 2, 4 is RAM. By golly, did I plug in the RAM wrong? No, the RAM looks good. Let's just play the memory game here. So I'm just going to flip that over like that. She's dead, Jim. She's dead. Does that mean we don't have a RAM power supply? That'd be weird. All right, 1.8 is dead. Yeah, I guess we could have a short somewhere else after that, or a blown something. Hope not. Just leave it in. All right, so we're going to try it again. What did we get to before? 1.31. Now, it should sit here for a while. We're going to go through a CMOS reset, so it's going to take a few minutes for it to kind of get through its little thing there. We went to 3.6 amps this time, so we did get higher. It is going through and testing different power rails and trying to turn things on and making sure everything works. Let's see. 0.9, 0.2. Okay, that's good. That's looking good. So now we're at 3 amps. Went back up, went down, and then dropped down to 1.21. I think that's okay. I think we're still on pace for it to start. Because it basically what it's doing is it's going through and trying different things and testing different devices, programming EC chips and stuff. This one has a pre-programmed EC chip, so it's not going to be that. So I'm not concerned right at this moment. Now, can we get above 3.6 is what we want. Ooh, that's a cycle that keeps happening. That's the third time it's done that. That's the third time it's done that exact same pattern, right? Come on. Post, damn it, post. I want to get past 3.6. 3.5, it's staying, it's staying. Hey, we have a picture, I can't believe I saved another laptop. Boom. Well, there you go. There you go. It took a little while. It took a little while. So I was definitely surprised that we had an issue there. Now, one of their sticks of memory may be messed up, but kind of, what we saw is that the board was experiencing a short on the board, but it's like 8 ohms. And 8 ohms is kind of a higher resistance when you're looking at a main power rail short. And so trying to identify what that shorted through is a little bit harder because you can't really inject voltage, enough voltage usually, in order to identify or locate something getting warm at 8 ohms without injecting more voltage than you need, right? So now I believe that the internal or the iGPU actually would run at like 1.8 volts, so we probably could have went up to 1.8 volts, but we didn't know what was actually hooked up to or what it was shorted through. But we were able to identify the MOSFET that was actually damaged and get that replaced, and now it's turning on, and we have picture. And of course, I'll go through and redo all the thermal case and all the padding or the pads and all that stuff, and get this laptop ready to go. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this one, and thanks for watching. Oh, just kidding. It's funny because I was like rattling away and I was like, this kind of sounds like I'm ending my video. So that's what I usually do. But at least now I have that I can edit into a video. So there we go. Did I get you for a second? And scene. And then I just turn it off. All right, so this thing's running the CPU test. Everything's working there. I'm going to put this stick back in here and we'll try to figure out if this stick works. But I just want to see if it gets through the CPU test. 3-1. Okay, 3-1. I know everyone's saying that. I'm sorry. I'm not like acknowledging the 3-1. So 3-1 stands for CMOS reset. So it means that from the last time the laptop has been turned on, the CMOS had been cleared. So now that we're getting a 3-1, if I turn it off and turn it back on, the 3-1 will be gone. So nothing to worry about there. That's actually a good sign. So if you're ever working on a Dell and you see a 3-1, that means the laptop has acknowledged its existence and knows that there was a CMOS reset. So don't worry about it. It's okay. And I'll try to get, I'll try to acknowledge you guys are like 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. There's so many 3-1s going out there. But I'm actually pretty surprised. So this is one. I mean, I felt there's only been a few where I've had the integrated graphics actually be the culprit. And did you notice how I identified which one it was without injecting the voltage? So you find a candidate or a power rail that could be a match for your short, and then you use that as one of your probe points, and then you measure back to the ground, or the main power rail, and that's how we actually determine, oh, those are attached together, right? We could have done an actual injection of voltage that same way, and then figure it out, oh, it's this MOSFET, but there's only one that connects those two power rails together, so it's not going to be anything like that. Did we spam chat? No, he didn't spam chat. It's fine. It's fine. The 369 code, what is that? I have a hard time keeping up with chat, so that's kind of my problem in general, because there's just so many words, so many words. The Nate Bargatze bit, I just cannot read that many words. Phonics kicks my butt. I ain't hooked on phonics, this kicks my butt. I'm just waiting for this to get through this test here, and then that clears this memory stick. We can stick this one in here. It probably just needs to be reseated, or right? This is telling me that the hard drive is not installed. And you guys know what a hard drive is? So apparently Dell calls these NVMEs hard drives. Wherever it is, there it is. So this NVMe SSD is a hard drive. And that's what the computer calls it. And people love to give me a hard time for calling it a hard drive, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Well, that was hard. All right, I'm just gonna look at the temperatures real quick. Temperatures look good. The GPU's detected, so it's actually showing the GPU's temperature here. I don't know if y'all can even see any of this. Let's see. There we go. So the fact that we have the video temperature here, then that means that the other graphics card is actually there. The CPU is there. Temperatures look fine. Let's put in this other memory stick. Let's see what it does. Technically, NVMe drives are hard drives. Well, people give me a hard time for saying the word hard drive. Yeah, because it's not a hard disk drive. I'm like, that's not what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a hard drive, not a hard disk drive. HDD. It ain't no HDD, man. Check the log file. What log file? Inside the BIOS? I doubt there's even a log file in there. It's an HDD. It's an SSD, solid state drive, solid state disk drive. No, it's not a disk drive. Oh, and so both sticks of RAM are in here. I think I must have just put it in there bad. You go crazy. So this BIOS is very minimal. Doesn't show us anything. So there's not really much we can do on these AMD BIOSes. Let me put their SSD in there, their hard drive, and boot through their Windows login and see if that shows up fine. Mem test. Come on. The power button working? It's funny, this power button's been pressed in so much because they're like, why do you want this thing turned on? Another good idea. I unfluxed another laptop. I unfluxed another laptop. Let me put a screw in this so it doesn't flop around. cleaning my wife's dad's place, and these massive 20 megabyte, massive 20 megabyte hard drives. Pretty cool. 20 megabyte. That's crazy. The hard is not removable. The disk is not removable. Hard disk. That was a fast fix. It sure was. And it was satisfying too. So I needed that win. I needed that win for sure. Power button's working. It's turning on immediately. Let's see if it boots to their Windows login screen. And then we can mark this one down as done. Do they not have an install? Wait a minute. So why does it keep going to a test here? Hard drives are totally removable. Totally. I like how you said that. All right, it is booting. So if we get a blue screen here, then we're going to have an issue, but I think we're okay. Do you count this one as an easy burrito? Think about this. If this was sent to a shop and they're used to looking for capacitors shorted, do they think they would have found this? Because the thing is that they would have kept injecting more and more voltage. And I'm even talking about Northridge Fix, because he would inject like 3 volts or something in order to get that thing to light up. Because there's no way you could get it at 1 volt. You would have to be at 1.8, which 1.8 will probably be okay, but it would destroy it. And the shop would destroy it, and then it wouldn't work. And then it would be done. And they'd be like, sorry, it was already bad. No, that's not how it works. So we are to the login screen. Let's see if we have any info. I do have a password, but I'm not going to log into their install. So let me just shut this thing down. And I'm going to call this good. And tomorrow I'll go through and redo all the thermal paste. I'll clean the fans properly. I'll replace that pad, and we're good. So what's the next laptop? It's the 9530, I believe, right? 9530. If it was worth their salt, maybe. Come on, this is taking forever to shut down. Okay, there it is. I would leave 5 resistors missing. Or he would leave 5 resistors missing. He collects them. I collect them. I'm a collector of resistors. All right, let me put the screws away. So this one little MOSFET right here caused that laptop no longer to turn on, but we were able to figure out which one it is. And let me put these screws away. So these are magnetic screw bends that I use, and I have a bunch of them, but whenever I go to the next system, I can just throw the whole screw bend in there, or I have a couple magnets I usually just throw in the bin with this, and then I just scoop this out. And so now we call these screw bundles. So now we have a screw bundle that we've put in the bin with the laptop. And that's how we store our screws. And so now I can go to the next laptop with this one. So, all right. So we got an XPS 9530, won't pass post after liquid spill. Now, I don't have the ultrasonic cleaner all warmed up because I actually need to refill it. I have water here. And so I figured if we were going to do that, I could show you how to do that, because some people are always interested in that. But we may need it or may not. I don't really know. It's one of those things. Hold on, I got to clean up my desk. I always clean up between. Are you one of those people who clean their desk or their office before you start another project, or at the end of your workday or something like that? Because that's who I am. I make sure everything is ready to go for the next day or the next project or whatever it is, because otherwise you're a little bit in disarray. I don't want that. So put that away. Put that away. Wipe this down. Always never clean. Never clean. One of my manager here, he's worked with me for a long time. He is such a great person and a very dependable, hardworking person. But I'm telling you, his area, his desk, it just starts stacking up around him with just stuff, just starts stacking up. And then every once in a while, it was like every month or two, he'll like go through and clean everything up. You walk in his office, it's like completely clean. But he's always in the middle of doing so many things, so it's just like everything kind of gets half done. It's almost like your garage, if you have a garage. You walk out in your garage and it's like things just get thrown in the garage real quick. Just get it out of here, throw it out there, you know, and it starts getting messy, and then he cleaned up, so it starts stacking around him, and then next thing you know, his desk is all clean and all put away. All right, so we're gonna look at this one. Oh, there's a lot of words on this one, people. Oh my God, so many words. So many words. Here we are. Here we are, again, with a lot of words to read. Trying to turn on the laptop from completely off. I got a blink code of 17, which is supposedly an unsupported SPI flash with a recommended SPI flash device, which SPI, I'm assuming, is the BIOS chip, is what they're talking about there. This happened after a water spill. Pulled the battery, dried it off for a few days. Still doesn't work. Mostly normal, except an issue when the laptop shut off completely, and they got the blink code. So apparently, they had it working after the water spill, but then now it doesn't work. So to me, it sounds like there's probably some sort of corrosive something that kind of built up and then caused a short, or a resistor to blow out or something like that. Went to sleep, always wakes back up right away, doesn't really work, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. They've tried different adapters, all that stuff. Okay, so I doubt that it's going to be some sort of BIOS issue. Could be. I don't know. But, I mean, we can all kind of have a conversation about that, what you think it's going to be. But let's start the video. All right, new date, another laptop that needs to be saved, and this time I have an XPS 9530. Now this one was a perfectly functioning laptop until the customer spilled something on it, and the laptop shut off and started giving a 17 error. Actually, no, he said he dried it off for a couple days, let it sit there for a couple days, and then turned back on and actually worked for a little while, and then shut off and gave a 17 error. And so now he can no longer get the power on. I haven't taken a look at this yet. Let's take a look together and see if we can get this figured out. I forgot. It's hard to come up with all that stuff on the fly, people. You guys don't get it. Redo. Actually, well, see, the thing about that is you can edit that out and just put it back, you know, kind of stitch it together and it'll work. I'm like, actually, okay, I'm ready to go. There we go. All right, the first thing I want to do is see if it turns on. And we'll hit the power button. See if I get a keyboard light or anything like that. Oh, and we got a Dell screen. Wait a minute. And we got a picture I can't believe. So this is on battery. I don't have it plugged in. But we're just kind of looking to see. And here's where the light code would be if there's going to be a 17. Perfect intro? Question mark. CPU failure. The thing is that we're going to have some sort of issue on some sort of corrosive element. You know, it's going to be something somewhere, somehow. Hopefully it's isolated to a smaller area. Now, if you've been watching me, or we did a stream a couple weeks ago, I think, where we actually had a water spill, and we had to go through different areas and go, okay, well, there's corrosion here, corrosion here, corrosion here, and then we only clean one little area and then replace whatever components we need to, and then clean that area. So we are waiting to see if this thing will turn on and give us a 17 error. Now, the odds are it won't. Okay, turned off. Is it going to turn back on? Turning it back on. Now, it'd be funny if it posts. And if it posts, then it still doesn't mean anything because, oh, look, it's going to post right now. Yeah, it's going to post, of course. Now, let me pull up my technician notes because I'm pretty sure he screened this before it came to me. But we're still going to need to open it up and take a look inside. But that doesn't make sense to me. Let me pull up his notes and see what he says here. So again, all the repairs are going through regular techs first, and they determine it's a motherboard, and then they send it over to me. And so there's going to be some sort of something in here. Let's see what he says. He says, I was looking at the system. I was able to turn on the system, ran diags. Okay, he ran diags, found an OCP fuse 1 and fuse 2 error. The system seemed to be working properly. The system boots into Windows, and I confirmed that the speakers are working in Windows. After turning off the system, I tried to turn it back on and it gave a 1.6 error, which is an EC failure. Okay, so apparently it won't turn on after this, is what he's saying. So I informed the customer about the corrosion and see if we can find it. So, all right, so I'm glad that we were able to read that information. All right, time for an ultrasonic bath. I mean, an ultrasonic bath could just fix it, for all I know. Cat P equals LLM. Oh, let's see, what would the letters be on that? Cat P, leaking cat P. So let me just escape. Let me just see what it does. See if it starts booting up the Windows. The thing is that if we're pulling current through something that is corroded and then it starts to have issues pulling current through there, I think that that's what's going on. And you notice that we're running on battery, and it had to go through like almost like a CMOS reset where it had to rewrite the EC chip. Why did it have to do that if the battery was installed? I never plugged this in yet. So that's also a symptom. We're trying to collect clues, right? So we must have a CPP, that's what it is. The cat P problem. You guys are something else. So we're trying to collect clues, and we're trying to figure out exactly why it would sometimes work and sometimes wouldn't, and why when we turned it on for the first time while it was on battery that it would post, but it would almost go through a CMOS reset the post when the battery's plugged in all the whole time. So leaking little meow. All right, so I don't want you guys to see their login screen, so I'm going to bend that over. I'm going to shut it back down. And let's see if it comes back on or if we get that error, okay? So now that the EC chip is programmed, is it going to work again? Because whenever we turn it on for the first time after a CMOS reset, it actually programs the EC chip. I suspect we have some more corrosion near the EC chip. Is that what y'all are thinking? It would make sense to me. All right, so it's off. We have picture next, question mark. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. So I press the power button. We have the Dell screen. Now, did he say it didn't post at all? No, I still got this. Now, I don't know. And it's booting the Windows again. What you said. All right, so here's what I want to do next. I know that it's one of these things where we're like, oh, it's inconsistent. Since we know there's a spill, there has to be corrosion somewhere, and we know we have some sort of inconsistency. So let's pull the whole thing apart. Let's just clean it. Let's be done with it. This is not a personally paid repair query service. That's right. That's right. 2 for 2. I saved this laptop, kind of, by turning it on. And this was this shipped in? Yeah, so it's shipped in. It's the last thing you want to do is say it's fixed and then just ship it off and then have to have it shipped back again. So I'm going to shut this thing back down. We'll pull this board out. It only takes a few minutes to do that. Should use a bounty for a quicker picker upper. Quicker picker upper, the bounty. Okay, pull this bottom off. Yeah, man, drying out, man. Oh wait, is that a Torx screw? Oh yeah, this thing has a hex. Oh, it's a 6 mil hex. So I think you put that in there. All right, so there's a rogue screw here that's doesn't match the others. It's almost like a special key where you can't steal someone's wheels. Like you can't take the bottom of this cover off without a special Torx. This is a T5 Torx, and I think this is a T6 or something bigger than this one. So any difference plugging it in? I guess we could plug it in if you want, but the thing is that if we have it working fine on battery, or yeah, maybe it won't work on battery. Oh, it plugged in, you're right. Maybe it won't post on that. So we can try that real quick. That's a good point. Let's do that. I'm gonna plug it in. Oh, I guess we can use this power meter. See if we can go through this one. Do we have the right one? Yep, okay. So let's see if we can run it through Spike. Okay, so it's powering on. Open the lid. So 0.22 is going to be the pre-charge current for the battery, and that should jump up to a few amps. Why is it only at 0.4? The board shouldn't be coming on right now. This should be all battery charging, but why are we only at 7 watts? Maybe it doesn't like my charger, because I'm using an adapter that adapts from a 4.5 millimeter Dell charger to a USB-C, and then running through a USB-C power meter here. So, Don't know, but let's power it on. Oh, now it doesn't power on. Oh, now we're getting a blink code. Okay. There you go. So that's a 1.6, right? 1. Now it's not doing that. Now it's powering on. It was a 1.6 at first, and then now it stopped doing that, and it seems like it's almost powering on. What the what? And it's after I tilted it. So, like, moving this thing around can be causing things too. So again, we're just like, yeah, there's something messed up here, people. There's something messed up. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, press the power button again. Yeah, it's not really going up when I press the power button, though. Punch the keyboard. Somebody punch the keyboard! Hooah! We got the keyboard backlight on. I'm going to hold down the power button. There's a goldfish inside. Read the notes. Well, we already read the notes. There was a lot of notes. There was so many words. There was a lot of words on that page, and the gist is they spilled water on it. Okay, here we go. Okay, 1.6. All right, so let's pull up 1.6 and see what that is. I got to search though. Got to do my old searchy. XPS 9530 light codes. Oh, look at this. I like Google did this correctly now. Look, I'm tired. So you know how they always put AI answers above all this stuff? And then this would be below it? They actually moved it where the AI answers second and the actual person that you're stealing the information from is first. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, so 1.6 is an EC failure. Disconnect all the power sources and drain it. And so I guess a CMOS reset makes it turn on. But after that is then it's done. Then the dishes are done after that. So yeah, EC issue. Were you changing out the EC? Thank you, Google. Thank you, Google. Wet data lines, corroded data lines. It could just be a big pile of corrosion all in that same area. So the EC chip's on the other side of the board, and there's nothing I can do. Like, so we're not gonna be able to see it when we open this up. But let's see what we can come up with. Damn quick Google search. Yeah, the AI answer being at the top all the time. Oh, there's still that secret screw there, darn it. I need to find a 6mm. I don't know if I have one. T5, that's a T2. I like a T6. T7? Is the T7 gonna fit? Oh, good enough. Barely fits. T7 Torx. 6.7, whatever it takes. Okay, we did it. We did it. Could be a frisbee. Drown roaches. Oh no! Okay, take out the motherboard and let's see. Rust harbors bacteria. Yeah, if we take the motherboard out, I think we'll be able to kind of figure this out quicker. All right, these bases are hard to get off. There's the 6.7 coming in. Torx on the bottom cover is cruel. And the bottom is off. All right, take a quick look around. Ooh, I do identify a little bit of fluff in here, so it has been overheating for a little while. My 6-year-old heard you say 6.7 just now and is now giggling at you. 6.7, 6.7. That's right. I got kids too. You know, my kids' elementary school, all the teachers for this last Halloween all dressed up with these like signs around them, like kind of like their big poster board signs that said 6.7. And so they dressed up as 6.7. And that was supposed to counteract all the kids, you know, interacting with the word 6.7. And it didn't really get rid of it too much, but eye roll. All right. But we can look around. Actually, I unplugged the battery just now. I was going to pull the board out. That's normally what I would just do, but we can just look around. It's a little dusty. And see if we can see any spill. But there's a little fluff of fluff. Let's see. All right, so this is going to be the heatsink, CPU, GPU, LCD connectors right here in the middle. Now, if they spilt water, oh, is that a little corrosion right there? If they spilt water on the top of the keyboard, that's when we have issues on the motherboard. I don't know about that. 6.7 equals 42, and that's why people are saying 42 now. Ah, that makes total sense. Yeah, because 42 is the new thing, but it's like this: 42, 6.7, 42. Like, come on, people. This is, I know, but we said stupid stuff when we were kids, right? So we said it too. I don't see anything else. All right, let's pull this board out. 42 is the answer to the universe. 42 factorial. Take out the motherboard and let's see. 42 is not new? Oh, okay. Where's that from? For OPP. Yeah, you know me. It's over 9,000 years old. 42 is. I know 42 the game. The Domino. The Wi-Fi card is integrated on the motherboard, so we can't take that out. Take out the SSD. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh. You know, I've never seen it or read it. Never. So that's something I need to add to my reading list or audiobook. 420 plus 69 equals smile. Thanks for the fish. The fishy fish. You can listen to the audiobook. Is it pretty good? I mean, is it... I listen to a lot of audiobooks, so... I mean, I guess I can just throw it on there. They probably have it through Libby, so you can get it for free. 42's demonstration of AI gets dumber over time. Oh, is it? It's funny, because AI starts regurgitating its own things, or starting to inbreed off of itself. It's a great film, great book. All right, we're almost done. We almost got this out. Doesn't take too long. My God, man, it's classic. You gotta read it. You gotta listen to it. What year was it released? Oh God, these are Gucci-licious. Oh, ugh. These are dirty. Here's your problem. Do you guys want some of that? Little hair fibers. What do y'all think about that? You're like, get it out of here. Get that out of my view. All right, so we'll put that off to the side. We'll collect it, and we'll have to mail that off to the Gooch collector soon. I'm collecting a big ball like that, and we're going to mail it off to him all at once. That was gross. Andy wants it. If Andy wants it, Andy will get it. Yeah, once I get that big, almost like a dryer lint ball here, we're going to send it off. I'm going to cast it in resin, and then he'll be able to put it on the wall. Ooh, that's what I should do. Cast it in resin, like clear resin, maybe put it as like a trophy case thing like that sits on his desk of just Gooch. It's a carpet company. Okay, there's an old TV series of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but I strongly suggest watching the movie. It's great fun. Now, what year did the movie come out? I missed what year the book came out. So it was born in '69. So when did the book come out and when did the movie come out? Has there been multiple versions of the book and movie? I mean, not the book, but the movie. Award of Best Flixer. Okay, 61. Y'all are telling your ages now. 2005 movie. Okay, so it's a modern movie. Modern 1 year ago. Isn't that crazy? I think the movie was compared to the old TV series was crap compared to the old TV series. You know, it would be nice if they had one of those like free TV stations. There's like Pluto TV or whatever that has the free TV that you could just watch all that. That'd be nice because they have some of those older stuff. The radio series, they had a radio series of it too. The series was way better. Okay. Resin paperweight. Yeah. 1978. 1980s, my year. I'm a youngin'. All right, and the motherboard is out. All right, so let's first look over here, and we're just going to see where we see liquid damage coming through, and then we're going to look at the motherboard itself. So is that signs of liquid right there? There we go. There's some signs of liquid. So it looks like it might have came through the keyboard right here in the middle. Came through here. The liquid wasn't described as anything more than just liquid, or did they say water? Is it sugary? Does that look? No, it's just, there's a lot of fuzz in here. It's very fuzzy. All right, let me check this other edge here. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't look very liquidy. But I'm sure we'll find something. Series doesn't hold up nostalgia. Okay, so it's just like a nostalgia thing. Read the book, watch the movie. Okay, so it was kind of disappointing to go back and... Well, I don't want to be disappointed. All right, so here's the motherboard. We're going to look around. Has this been taken off before? I think it has. It's kind of fuzzy. It's almost like someone has taken this off. Is this where the liquid damage was? That inductor looks a little bit suspicious there, like it's a different color. So these are inductors. They're just passing current through, so it's from one power rail to another. And okay, there's some corrosion right there. There's some more corrosion there. Let me adjust this polarizer for you. All right, I'm just going to take all these covers off. Yep, there's your sign. So we definitely have a corrosive thing here. Now, I don't see anything blown, and so the machine's working sometimes and not working sometimes. I think if we just clean this, it probably will fix it when we have an issue like this. Let me pull this off. So it's all, this is back here near the CPU, actually. So maybe having that error, the 1.6 error, the EC error, it's preventing the EC from coming on, maybe? Or it's pulling a line low. There's your problem. There's your sign. There's your sign. But we're going to take off this other part too. So let's see if this whole cover comes off. The EC chip's over here. I just want to see how good this comes off. This is all like dusty underneath here too, like it's been pulled off. We could actually look for fingerprints if we wanted to. Yeah, so this area feels like it's been pulled off, but this part in the middle doesn't feel like it's been pulled off. You see, I'm like always collecting clues. I don't know what if it's even worth it on this one, but this is just how I am. All right, this seems not too stuck. All right, we got that off of there. Okay, so here's our EC chip. This is the region where it's saying there's a EC error or problem, but we just want to see if we see an issue with the EC chip or any corrosion in this area. And right now, this all looks good. There's our EC chip. These are going to be a 3 volt and they're 5 volt power rails. That's the controller that controls that. And there's our USB-C port on this side. Looks okay. A little bit of corrosion maybe, but not too bad. I'm just going to kind of work our way across here. Our BIOS chip should be here in the middle somewhere. 25Q64, that's not it. Here's our BIOS chip. And the other side of the board, here's our power management chip. This is what handles the charging of the battery, turning on off the power management chips, creating the main power rail, things like that. And we got 2 more USB-C ports that have a little bit of corrosion on it, but I don't see anything crazy. There's another type of BIOS chip, but that's for the probably Thunderbolt or something like that. All right, I'm probably going to pull the heatsink off. Oh, that probably needs to be cleaned. I'm going to pull the heatsink off too, since we do have corrosion on the back side of right here. This is where all the corrosion is, so I want to look right here very clearly. And we'll look inside the USB-C ports too. Solve them probler. That's what we're doing. We're solving them problems. Just switch the tank on. Did you switch it on? Did you turn it on and off? Didn't realize cat pee was corrosive. It like crystallizes into ammonia balls of crystal. All right, heatsink is off. These heatsinks are always so pathetic. Especially in this machine. This machine, if you get the 30, I think this thing will come with the or maybe a 40 series. 4060 maybe? If you get the one with the 4060, which this one may be, they have a tendency of burning up the power rail here because this little heatsink doesn't keep these coils cool enough, or the MOSFETs cool enough. So I always add some more padding here. But we'll put that away. Let me pull all this cover off too. Gross. Gross. This thing is very dirty. Oh, Nelly! So I'm glad we took this off. So this is our CPU, our chipset. So if we're having chipset errors, or we're having EC errors, where the chipset and the EC has to communicate, and these are our power for our, well, the chipset usually power is maybe over here. Yeah. And then this might be the iGPU right here. I don't know. Integrated GPU. All right. What do? Just throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner and call it a day? Is that how we do it? Is that what we do? Is that our MO? I'm going to stop and get some coffee though. Where's my coffee? Hitchhiker Guide is a little old. Zoe Deschanel was just fine. Zoe's in it? Are you kidding me? Woo, she's on my list. Oh, okay. Well, if Zoe's in it, I'll take it. Yes. All right. I'm watching it tonight. Woo. Okay. Okay. Just do a dry check. So what we're going to do is clean as we go, right? So we're going to clean these areas, and we're going to look and replace anything that's suspicious. I suspect that we may have something here or here. But I'm thinking we could probably just clean it and it'll be fine, but we also want to make sure we replace anything that's bad. So like we get down into like something like this. Like that resistor right there looks messed up. Can you see the one that looks just like his eye popped when you said Zoe? Yes. This one right here looks like it is done. The dishes are done with that one, man. Yeah, so we're going to replace that one for sure. So that's one of our candidates. So let's go through and kind of make our list of what we're going to replace, and then we're going to clean it up and replace it. We could start here if you want to. Thanks for the cheers, 6-7. Graddies with the 6-7s. We could start here and just clean. All these capacitors look okay. That looks okay. Looks okay. What about this stuff right here? Those are no pops. Non-populated areas. What about this stuff in here? What about this here? Dirty, rotten resistor. Let me move this out of the way. Adjust that. That needs to be centered on the square. There we go. It's hip to be square. Okay. That's fine. All right, so far, does anyone see anything else they want me to replace over here? Can you see it well enough? Ultrasonic clean the earthquake. Yeah, we're going to toothbrush all this, and it's going to clean all this up quite nice, and then we can ultrasonic. I usually will do that tomorrow, but I can show you how we set up the ultrasonic cleaner if you want tonight. I just don't like to spend too much time on stuff that is takes a long time. So that's that. See if anybody said they saw anything. Need a donor board. I have a donor board. Let's just grab the exact same one, which is, this is a 402, right? What board is this? No, it's a L664P. Let's grab one of those. right here. I should have one right around here. Oh no, I just dropped it. And this is a 402. What's this one? 402 again. Darn it. I know these are going to be pretty close, but these 402s I think are 20s, not 30s. I don't really get a lot of 30s that are donor boards. Donor. Okay, here's a donor. .663. Is that what we said? 664. What's the difference between a 663 and a 664? By golly, I don't know. Let's figure it out. But that one's marked as donor, so let's take a gander. Let's take a look. Take a look in a book. 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1. It's just better. It has one more betterness to it. Well, I could see that the GPU may be higher end. Maybe that's what it is. So this one has 3 inductors here. Oh, I think this is the board that always fails that I was talking about. This is the one that doesn't have high enough graphics here. So this must have the Moss bigger chip. Yeah, this is an X4, and this is only an X2 or something. Oh, this is Iris. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, or ARC. This is an ARC processor. That's what you're saying. So this is a Intel GPU. I missed the memo. But all this stuff's the same. So all the CPU stuff should be the same. And we'll look at the back. This stuff is probably not the same. Oh, it is. So all that's the same there too. So we're good. So we can use this. Oh, you guys keep saying Zoe, you're making me think about her too much. Stop it. You're messing me up. You're distracting me. Distracting me. All right. Let's see. All right, so let's start with here, like I said. So these resistors are the ones that we need to pay attention to. So we had these guys right there, which are this. Oh my God, that thing is messed up. Look at that. Huh. I feel like he's about to fall off. Okay, next to the DZ1, let's see if we have a DZ1. DZ1. So these guys, oh, these are caps. It's just so much stuff on here. Was this milk? Looks very milky. What do you think? Maybe it's a latte. It's very latte-esque. And don't tell me to smell it. All right, I'm gonna clean this area now, and we're gonna do some transplanting, okay? You all ready? Here we go. Oh, we're gonna stay on schedule tonight. Smell it, taste it. No, I don't want to. Okay. So we're gonna clean it up. Snort it. Yeah. We'll scrape all this, put it on the desk, and then that will be good. Okay. Looks pretty good. Like brand new, like nothing has happened here. Nothing to see here. And that resistor actually cleaned up quite nice. But we're still going to replace it. All right, so anything else that we want to address in this area? Those look okay. They cleaned up pretty good. These look a little oxidized here, but they're fine. So this guy right here is what I want to replace. Anyone else has something else they want me to do? We're still on schedule. All right. That's good. Yeah, we're 2 hours in. We'll see if I make it till 10 tonight, or see if I make it for another 2 hours. Eyeglass, alcohol, pad, smell-o-vision. The new Daft Punk song, smell it, lick it, brush it, paste it. Smell it, brush it, lick it, paste it. Reflow the area. All right, let me pull this resistor off. I'll reflow the area like you're saying. Yeah, we can do that. This pad's gonna get all funky. Let me pull it up out of the way. It's going to melt. Just how to clean under those, underneath these. We're not going to be able to get that off without heating it up. I got to pull this pad off here, but because I don't want it to get all melty. So I got to heat up the area, see if I can get the glue to come off. There we go. There we go, perfect. Oh, there's more corrosion over here. Okay, I think that's ready. Okay, we're ready. We're good? We're ready? I'm just gonna pull that off. We're gonna move that resistor over and then flux everything and heat everything for science. That's the solution. Let me put some air on because I don't want to breathe all these toxic milk fumes. No more sugar for Nate. I'm gonna start crashing if I don't have any more coffee. Okay, so we're gonna end up putting a lot of flux in this area. There's our Lewis Rossmann pile of flux. So you just kind of pile it everywhere, right? He just like slathers it everywhere. Heat that up. And is this ready to pull? Oh no, I bumped the other one. My hand's burning. Don't blow away. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. There we go. It's a pretty tiny little resistor. I don't know if you can see what I do with it. What do I do with it? I don't know what I did with it, but it's around here somewhere. Let's put a new one on. Brand new. It's brand new, I tell you. Can you tell me how to get more commands for mats and mods? More commands? You just go to the wiki. Go to the wiki and all the stuff's there. A lot of times when you run the command, it will tell you to run another command. So it kind of explains that to you. So I just kind of do research. Northwest Repair is going to be the ace on that. I only use basic commands because I don't have to. I'm not fixing regular desktop graphics cards, just laptop cards. And I like how you spelled mats out like it's a name, a person's name. All right, so that's clean. All right. Poor sponge. Yeah, this thing is totally destroyed. Destroyed. And then the one I kept on their board is all destroyed too. I'm going to pull this one off of here and we'll just get another one off of a donor board. It's just hard to save these things. Okay. All right, let's continue cleaning. I think this area was okay. We just need to clean it off, right? It's 11 a.m. in Australia. Welcome to the future. All right, that's good. Let's put this back. Oh, I probably lost the stickiness on this. You gonna stay? Okay, well, I'll have to put that back too. So I'll transfer one of those over. Rest in peace, sticker. All right, what else do we need? So again, what I'm going to do at the end of this, you know, we're right now cleaning, isolating, replacing, things like that. And then tomorrow I'll end up putting it through the ultrasonic cleaner unless you want to do it tonight. I'll have to, At some point, we're going to have to stop and heat up the ultrasonic cleaner. We'll have to put stuff in it. It takes a long time to actually prep an ultrasonic cleaner to get it ready to go. It's not like, oh, I'm going to put it in there and then go. You have to actually have it clean, have the right fluid in there and stuff like that, and then you have to heat it up, and it takes a while to heat it up. Like a while. Like 30 or 45 minutes. So, reballing the PCI E slot, crazy skill. That's pretty crazy. All right, does that look brand new? Brand new. That looks pretty good. Now I have a feeling that you could probably just get away with just cleaning this with a toothbrush and it would be good. So if they took it to any shop, they probably would have cleaned it, and because the thing is actually working partly. So brush, brush, brush. So I think we're onto this side, right? Because I think we got everything done on this side. Or am I missing something? I feel like we're good. I mean, this is all dustiness over there. Unless you want me to deal with some of these oxidized resistor or caps and stuff. You removed one resistor. Yeah, I know. I removed one, and I moved it on here. So now we have it replaced. So where'd the resistor go? It's on there. I removed it off the donor board and put it right there. So it's there. Is everyone on board? You want to test it? Well, we still have all that corrosion on the other side of the board. So a lot of junk in here still. The ultrasonic cleaner will get the rest of this stuff out of here. All this extra stuff here. Here, I'll spray it. Yeah, I don't want to turn it back on because we need to clean it still. Okay, sometimes I feel like I'm just cleaning stuff all the time. All right, so let's start on this side of the board. I'll work our ways across. I don't know if we looked under here. Oh, there's stuff over here too. All right, the gift that keeps giving. Brush missing resistor. Missing resistor from brushing? Where? You guys are crazy. Unless I'm crazy. Okay. Okay, where? There's always stuff missing. There's tons of stuff always missing. So brushing or remove the resistor. Okay, so here, we'll compare it to our other board. So here's our other board. Okay, can we get them both lined up in the shot here? There we go. Okay, so I have this resistor is the one we replaced. Okay, so let's just look at everything else. This is set up differently right here because this is a different board. It's not exactly the same. And so there's only two here, 3 here, 3 here. So the layout's a little different. But I don't see anything missing. Left and up. Left and up. So left and up is this way. So there's nothing there. Those are there. Those are there. That's there. That's there. I mean, there's 3 here and 3 here. This one only has 2 here and 2 here on this board. PU 2507 cap. Okay, PU 2507. Where's PU 2507? Is that on the other side? Let's see, PU. That must be on the other side because I don't see any PUs on this side. More yellow. There's a cap that's more yellow. So we got these are black. We got those things missing here. I mean, there's always going to have these weird little marks here. Here, we'll see if I can brighten this up if that helps. No, that makes it worse. Looks oxidation on DZ1 cap. I generally don't worry about that much oxidation on these, like this right here. Because it's not actually going to affect it. It's just that the oxidation on the top. Looks like a good skipper. I changed the silk screen on the two boards. Yes, that also helps. Yeah, there's two different silk screens. I mean, I could try to find another board, but this is an ARC board, the Intel ARC board, which I don't have one of those. And that's why I had to use this board. This is the closest board that I have. He means capacitor when he's talking about the pair of diodes. Okay. Is that what I'm saying? These are diodes, diode. So these are caps. These are diodes here, diodes. Are we good? I'm moving on. I think we're fine. North, east, west, south, west reference is accurate. I don't know if we're missing something, but if not, it's brushed off and it's not your fault. Okay, I think it's all there. I think it's all there. But we will keep that in mind. If something is awry, we could try turning it back on again, but it's still freaking dirty. So let's just focus on this stuff. So we're starting on this side. This just needs to be cleaned. This just needs to be cleaned. I'm not worried about that. Not worried about that. We'll just clean that with a brush. That looks fine. That looks fine. That looks fine. That's fine. These look a little oxidized, but again, they're capacitors. Resistors are the ones that I usually worry about just flaking in pieces. So let's just start cleaning these portions. Found PC 304. You found PC 304. There it is. I found it. Yeah, I don't want to sit there and dwell too long on one thing. Start losing people's attention. That's how people fall asleep. I don't want anybody falling asleep. Now, apparently a lot of people listen to my videos go to sleep at night. Are you one of those people who are like, oh, I'm going to put it on to go to sleep because I'm so soothing? Yeah, all these look fine. They just have that oxidation on here. Like right here, right there, right there. But the actual thing looks fine. Zzz. Yeah, someone came into the store the other day and he's like, yeah, I watch your videos. Actually, I watch them to go to sleep. I was like, yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, that looks fine. Fine, it's fine. This one, that one might be a little weird. It's like we're missing half of the terminal on that side. Okay. All right, inductors. So this is the power supply that I would think that might cause an issue, but I don't know. Looks fine. Resistor, 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 resistor. These are inductors, so this is power rails powering together. Yes, but not too boring. You know, it's like you're going to sleep, and I'm so soothing, and I'm just talking about different things, and you're going to sleep, and then I put it in continuity mode and start beeping away. Are you awake? Wake up! Wake up! That's what I do. How are we going to test this to make sure that it's going to keep turning on? Because if it turns on sometimes, it doesn't turn on other times. I hate that. All right, so I'm happy all the way across here. That all looks good, all right? Brand new. Brand new. If Nate directed Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it would be, bring your toothbrush, not a towel, not your towel. Bring your autograph toothbrush. There we go. I sleep, but not an autopilot disconnect alarm. The continuity does not wake you back up, huh? Yeah, these look a little bit corroded here. We're okay, though. We're okay. Keep moving on. Is this better for me to just clean them right here in a small area, and then y'all can see it if the part gets ripped off of here? I think that might be better, instead of cleaning in wide angle. So it looks good. I scrubbed another laptop. It could be it could be your weapon. It's a shank. It's a toothbrush. It's a shank. What do you do? Melt it and sharpen it on the concrete, right? Is that the trick? It's like, have we even done anything on this laptop besides clean it? I'm just a cleaning crew. Send in the cleaning crew. When you say I saved another laptop, it wakes you up. That means next video, right? I saved another laptop. I woke up another person trying to sleep to my video. Okay. And we've made it to the end, and everything looks okay. Shank is a verb. It's not a thing. Oh, to shank. To shank is a verb, but a shank is a thing, right? Well, technically, you are correct, but you're not correct, okay? Let me tell you exactly what's going on with shanking. All right. I don't know. Yawn. You're starting to fall asleep. And just a happy little motherboard being cleaned will put you right to sleep. Just to put you to sleep. All right, so how are we supposed to determine that this is fixed? Does it just work? I think we're done. Oh, I fall asleep when I show shine videos. How often do you change your brushes? I have a whole pile of them here. So, like, I have a little cup that has this many toothbrushes in here. And so what I do is I just kind of randomly grab them. So they actually last a while, but you'll see like some of the bristles will start kind of fraying out. And so it's kind of, I just kind of throw them out after that. But I kind of try to keep them sorted where I'm like, this one I'm cleaning really nasty stuff. I have a separate one that I just clean heatsink fans, because you don't want to have one that has flux on it to clean fans. Okay, shank also refers to the part of meat. Oh, the shank steak, right? Shank flank, something like that. I'm not a big meat knowledgeable person. Meatable. Look how many people left from cleaning a motherboard. We lost a lot of people's attention here. All right. Let's just put this back together. And then we can move on to the last one. And then we can call it a night. A brisket. Shank brisket. You have a brush for each one of the other toothbrushes. That way none of them has to work too hard. This goes to, does it go to this one? Nope, it goes to the other motherboard. This one goes here. I'm still here. You haven't left. How often do you wake up with a migraine? You know, I don't get migraines per se, but every day I wake up with a headache. Pretty much every single day. I don't know what it is. And then I just drink coffee and do some exercise and I'm good to go. But I don't know. Where does this go? Where does this go? This one goes here. It goes there. I've only had one migraine in my life, and it was pretty horrible. Dehydration. I drink a lot of water. I bring one of these cups with me everywhere I go. So this is 32 ounces, and I drink a couple of them a day. I do have snoring issues, yeah, so it's probably sleep apnea. Plus, I also don't get enough sleep. Like last night, I slept probably 5 hours. The night before, I slept about 5 hours. So that will cause issues, I'm assuming. So where did these go? Do they go on this side? People. Let's see. Someone can tell me. Gap time. I don't know. I cannot. I'm going to have to find that where this goes later, I guess. Unless somebody's telling me. Dehydration. You're talking about the sleeping thing. All right, let me put rewind review. I'll deal with it later. I mean, I could look at other boards. I just figured somebody would be like, it's right there. All right, so we're just going to throw a little bit of this stuff on there. Now you're going to clean off the old stuff because Crazy Nate's. Welcome back to Crazy Nate's Fabrication Factory. Donor board? Oh yeah, it might be on the donor board. You're right. Yeah. Is this the donor board? Darn it. Am I mixed up? No, this is the right one. Forget the sticky covers. Forget them. Just move on with life. Okay. Sleep apnea, snoring, H2O poisoning in your bloodstream from causing. Oh. Oh, gosh. Just another thing to deal with. I mean, since I've been exercising, I lost about 15 pounds since January. And so I feel like it must be it should be much better, but my wife still says I snore, so. And I do have a Samsung phone, and those record your sleeping, and it will actually record you snoring and play it back to you, so you can listen to it. Ask her if you have excessive snoring. I mean, I know it's enough for her to like push me and say like, "Hey, stop it." But I don't know if I'm stop breathing or not. I don't know. I don't know. All right, I'm just going to put a couple screws in here, just enough to make it go through here properly. I actually want to put this bracket on here. So whenever this did boot up, the text note said that it had some sort of like errors inside the diags, and so I just want to see if it passes all the diags, and that would actually help us know if it actually fixed the issue. I forgot to plug in the freaking keyboard. Sleep 4 hours plus straight. Yeah, because I can actually look at how long my REM sleep patterns were and things like that on my watch or on my phone. And I only usually get a couple hours, or not. I usually maybe get an hour and a half of deep sleep or something. Maybe I don't think it's that much. If I'm a low percentage, I would say. Snoring stops, breathing, and if only partially apnea killed my 28-year-old son. What the what? That is horrible. Wow. Yeah, I might need to do a sleep study then. That's pretty crazy to hear that. Okay. Let me plug the fans in here too. 90-minute cycles of sleep are normal. REM is the random eye movement, right? So that's going to be whenever I'm dreaming. Is that correct? And then you have deep sleep, where you're just kind of like knocked out completely. And paralyzed. You're paralyzed with fear, I tell you. It'd be nice in the winter because you can hide under the covers, super warm beneath. Oh, yeah. So it never gets cold enough here. Never gets cold enough. Rapid eye movement. All right, do we have enough screws in here? I think we do. All right. We'll put one more there for safekeeping. Let me hook this connector up so we won't get an error in our diagnostics. So this actually is a daughter board that has the audio on it, and there's other sensors and stuff, so we'll always throw an error if I don't have this on here. Get it connected though. Connect. Oh, that's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Okay. That's done. That's done. That's done. All right, all that. Now, I need to put an SSD in here to actually test it. Resistor is futile. That's pretty funny. You're too funny. Okay. All right, here we go. Losing my religion. There you go. That's where we're going with it. All right, I'm going to plug in the power meter. Is this one going to work? Let's see. Do we have the battery plugged in? Plug in the battery. We're going to boot in the diagnostics and see if it passes all the diagnostics. And, or hopefully posts, I guess, too. I guess would be the other thing. All right, we got Dell screen. We still have picture, which is what we had before. So if you're, I don't know, some people are just joining too. So this laptop actually did post when it came in. The customer said that they spilled something on it. They dried it out. They turned it back on. And it worked for a little while, and then now it's giving like a 1.6 error. So what we figured out is that the laptop will turn on if you do a CMOS reset on it and let it sit, and it would actually post, but then later on, if you try to turn it back on, it won't. And so we'll open it up. We found all that corrosion. We cleaned off all these components. We replaced one resistor because it looked a little suspicious, but everything else looked okay. And now we're hoping to see if this actually resolves the issue. Apparently there was like errors in the diags, which we didn't run earlier, but my other tech did. And we'll see if it passes all that stuff. So the daughter board is an IO Daddy-O board. Poor posture is also a possibility. You should get checked. Yeah, poor posture. Oh man, you're making fun of my posture now? I have to sit hunched over a microscope all day long. I'm working on getting a new chair. Haven't done it yet, but we're getting there. I've sat in 30-something chairs so far. It's a 2.1 as bad as well. 2.1 is a CPU error if you're talking about a 2.1 error light code. Shrimp posture. Shrimp postures like that. There's my coffee. So many internet doctors out here. Well, it's experience, right? So if somebody had an issue and then they want to share what their result was or how they were able to fix it, so I don't mind. 2.1 is a bad chair. Oh. 2.1 is CPU failure, but it's also a bad chair. I did see that the secured by Dell Secure BIOS or whatever it is, that's the screen that we know whenever the machine actually posts. Are we getting an error code or anything? Maybe I'll turn it like this. Okay, we do have, okay, cool. We got that screen. I'm just going to boot straight into diagnostics. Okay, so we do have Polyfuse 1, Polyfuse 2. Well, you can't see it. So we do have this Polyfuse error showing up. Now, I don't know what that pertains to. I've seen this in the past before. I don't know what that goes to, but it's saying a cable is not attached. Now, we only have one jumper board that I have it connected, so that shouldn't be the issue, but we're going to go ahead and resume. So something else could be blown out or something like that. And maybe just the ultrasonic cleaner will clean this up. Does anyone know what the Polyfuse 1 or 2 goes to on this machine? Overcurrent protection, OCP, okay. So the Polyfuse have it, so maybe just replace the Polyfuses? Or the I don't know. I know there's a couple Polyfuses on here, which is going to be a fuse that blows and then will unblow itself, basically. Oh, expensive sound cards transitioned to expensive DACs and headphone amps now. OCP, other cousin's property. Is that really what it stands for? Are you a lawyer? Other cousin's property. Bad chair, bad. Polyfuse usually self-reset, but if it's saying there's a Polyfuse failure, maybe it's telling me there wasn't one in the past, and a failure because it saw like a short at one point, and then it's clearing that. So maybe after we do this couple boot cycles, it will fix it. The touchpad. Oh, RoboCop is a laptop. Okay, so it passed all the tests except it does have the Polyfuse 1 and Polyfuse 2. It's saying and, I guess. But everything else passed. And the temperatures look high. CPU's at 98, or it hit 98, or it is at 98. It's probably because I didn't really thermal paste it properly. Let me see if I can fix that part. Whoa, holy cow. Whoa, whoa, that's hot. So the heatsink's definitely making contact. I mean, because this heatsink is on fire. Wow. Okay. All right, let's go thermal. Go thermal. Yeah, that's freaking hot. That's freaking hot. 64. Let me turn it on. So the fans aren't spinning because it's off, but I just turned it back on again. Let me see if I can get it to power on. Oh, let me turn the power meter back up here. Wait, it's not. Oh, hey, we're back to our error again, people. Clean the gooch, alcohol, blow, BGA chips, connectors, ribbons. Level 3 diagnostic thermal issue, Captain. Device heats up usually. Okay, here's what I want to do with this one, because it's giving that error again when I try to turn it on. Does it boot just off battery? That's a good point. Let's try shutting this off. Is it on right now? This thing is so hot. Is the keyboard on? Oh, the keyboard backlight's on, so it is on right now. Replace the areas of that got hit, the 6-pin chip. Yeah, 0.23 is clearly not a short. I think it's a startup thing, but it's like almost like the CPU is getting stuck in a certain phase or setting. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 1.6 is back. All right, I'd say a lot of resistors are cooked. I say there's something really messed up. Okay, I'm trying to think of what I want to do at this point, because it turns on for the first try. What is going on? You did not replace the burnt filter cap. There's not really a burnt filter cap. You're talking about one that looks suspicious. I mean, we can replace those, but I don't think it's shorting, because the thing is actually, there's no shorts unless it's a partial short. Oh, spam is back in chat? No. No. Sweet, you made it to another live stream. Okay, so now it's powering on. All right, we're on battery. So maybe it works off battery, but when we plug in the power, it has the issue. Oh, it's booting the Windows. Booting off battery. Interesting. So maybe I have to think about this. This may be something for tomorrow, because I need an ultrasonic clean the whole thing. Maybe there's something getting hot somewhere, but what does it cost for this board? This is a 9530 board. You can't get them. So I've looked for these. I don't have them in stock, and anytime I've tried to find one, you can't get them, because it's a 2023. It's a 12th or 13th gen, but the board is, if you find it, it's like over $1,000, which is crazy. And so buying a whole machine is usually the route that I have to go, and I can't even find one of these for a a good price. Okay, so it says Gemini says that OCP fuse 1 and 2 warning indicates that the power management controller IC has detected a current spike that exceeds the threshold. So check cable jumper. All right, so it's staying on here. Should we change out the power management chip, or should we? I don't think the power management chip is going to have the issue, but where else would it be? Try power on the battery. Oh, you're right. If it's powering off the battery, it's not having the issue. Check the voltage line. Toddler's. Oh, sorry. Waiting for this to shut down here. Ultrasonic overnight. Oscillating cells are conductive until you clean it thoroughly. Yeah, I'm thinking I probably just need to clean it thoroughly. The fans did come on. They weren't running excessively high. Let's see what temperature it is now that it's shut back down. Chair fund donation. Thank you. Everyone liked the like button. Thank you, Ian. We got up to 50 something. Oh man, okay, I'm going to turn it back on again off battery without plugging it in, and I want to see if it does the error again. Did you try running it without the battery to isolate the AC power? So yeah, so let me try that. I'm just seeing if it works off the battery right off the bat, or if it gives us the error. If it gives us the error on battery alone, because we keep plugging in the power and it gives us an error. So, and then I also am using this adapter, so I'm going to probably skip using that next time. But let's just see if this is going to turn on. So, I don't. Okay, there we go. It is coming on the battery. So, let me turn it off. We turn it back on again. Jack again. You need an extra linky to the shirt options for the tall, skinny nerds like myself. So those kind of fit shirts, those are pretty long actually. I know, I mean, I only have the options I have, but that actually, the ones that are kind of fitted shirts, those are the ones I buy, and they're pretty long. I'm 6'3", and it fits me just fine. And when I bend over, it's not like showing my butt crack or anything, so that might be the way to go. But I'll see if there's any other options. All right, I'm going to power it on one more time on battery. I'm lanky. All right, it's powering on again. Okay, so now I'm going to power it back off. And now I'm going to plug in the USB-C, and I actually have to pull up the other USB-C power meter in order for you to see this properly. Let's see if I have that up. Power, let's see. Okay, so this is the other power meter. Plug it in, and we'll see if it starts charging. Look at that, it didn't charge. Do we have a power management chip issue? Yeah, look at that. So it's not charging the battery. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it took a second. I was like, wait a minute. You're 5'11", 120. Man, remember those days. I bet Nathan's distant cousin is Chuck Norris. Just joking. Uke, thank you. Thanks for the wonderful videos. Very interesting. Plus, heard that you need a new chair. Yes, I do. I'm getting closer. I'm collecting all the funds, and I'm going to try to make sure I get a good one. All right. So when it dropped back down, this model actually hasn't. You cannot post it without a battery in there. So what it will do is always go to 20 volts, and then drop down to 0, and then have to run off the battery for a second and come back on. So I think that might be a normal process on this one. So let me unplug it again. I'm just going to plug it back in one more time. I just want to see what it does. So 0.6, 0.4, turned off, turned back on, and it should jump to 0.2 and then jump up to 1.5 amps or something like that. It's thinking about it. There we go. So I didn't even jump up to 0.2 on the way. Huh. But it is charging. All right, so let's see if it turns on. Because if it doesn't turn on with the charger, then we know that we have something else going on. And do you think we missed some sort of corrosion? Keyboard backlight's on, but I'm not getting a picture. Huh. What do we think? There it is, and there's our error. So, okay. All right. We have more clues. Huh. Okay. What is premise saying? Typically located near the DC jack in. So let me show you, well, on these USB-Cs, they're all over the place. So now I'm on battery, I have it unplugged, and the thing's posting. Okay. So polyfuses. So do we think, oh, the polyfuses? But hold on, I want to figure out, let's try this port over here. I can't buy new shirts, so this goes to the chair fund. Well, thank you, Taz. Let me try this USB-C. Let's see if it's a USB-C on this side. This one is one USB-C controller. This is a different one. I just want to see if it's different with this one. Thank you so much, Tazzy. Okay, power it on. This is interesting. 1.6 internal EC failure. So what if our power management chip is bad? I guess our power management chip could be bad, or EC chip could be bad. It's in protection. So, but one of those things aren't working. Yeah. So now we're back to the error again with that in there. So now if I unplug this and power it on, it will just power off the battery, and it doesn't need the power management chip to protect anything or deal with faults or something like that. All right. So, all right, which one do you want to start with? Power management chip? I kind of want to start with the power management chip because the EC chips are a pain in the butt, but for science. So let's see if it turns back on. It's kind of nice finding these clues, right? Okay, turns back on. All right, works fine on battery, does not work on charger. New day, new laptop to repair. And this time, we have a weird one because this laptop, when you try to plug it in, it powers on and gives you an EC error on the charger. But then if you're powering off the battery, it works just fine. We've already looked at this, but we're going to keep looking at this together and see if we can figure it out. All right, let me pull this back out. So we're going to do power management chips on the other side of the board. So let me pull this out. I thought we said that an hour ago. You little stinker. PMC. I like calling it a PMIC. You guys like to call it PMC. I like the I in there. Second intro was much better. That's right, because I kind of messed up the first one, didn't I? It's dodgy. It's so dodgy. Sounds like a dodgy input MOSFET. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to take this guy back out. We don't need it. It's Dave's fault. It's always Dave's fault. All right, how many Daves do we have here tonight? We always have a lot of Daves. We have a lot of Daves. They're all over the place. I would say we have a plethora of Daves. We're going to unplug this. Still, take one is in my book. We'll have to mix them together. That's what we have to do. So if I edit this down to a video, then I'll mix them together and you'll get like a mashup. Poll, is your name Dave? Go. If your name is Dave, say yes in the poll. If it's not, then say no. We'll see how many Daves we have while I'm doing this. Power management chip's going to be located right here. And we could take some measurements. Yeah, let's take some measurements when we plug in the charger. This one you do need a battery, but I think we should be able to at least get some sort of measurements on here. So here's our power management chip. It's going to be a 9538CH, I believe. There it is. And let's see how many people are Daves. We got 50% Daves so far on Twitch. 50%. And I no longer can pull up the polls on YouTube anymore. I can pull up and do the, it just doesn't show up right anymore. I don't know why. Maybe I can refresh the page. Ah, it's working now. Okay. Cool. Let's see, polls. There we go. Where's the pole? Where are you at? See if I can get the show up. There we go. All right. We got our pole up there. So YouTube is a little more on par for being correct. Apparently, Twitch has a lot of Daves. All right, so I have the USB-C plugged in. Let's measure some pins on the power management chip. I just want to see if we are getting correct voltages. Maybe we're getting something weird over here, right? So this should be our 20 volts coming in, 19.8. Should have 20 volts here also. We only have 3, what? What? No, we have 20 volts there. We have 19.8 there. This should be 5 right here. There we go. 4.9. And then this should be 3.7. This should be 3.7. This should be 3.7. There we go, 3.6. It's pulsing. If you're looking at the meter, it's probably pulsing on and off, I bet, right? Yeah. And that's what it's supposed to do when it has battery. So whenever we have a battery not plugged in on this machine, it will try to starting up, and then it will actually turn off the board, off the charger, have it run off the battery for that 1 little second, and then keep going. So that's a normal process. So all that actually measured fine, but maybe we have a bad sensor line going somewhere. So let's just change this out. How's our Dave poll going? We only got 15 votes on Twitch. 107 viewers. Let's see. I have new 9538 CHs, I believe. Or we can just grab one from a donor board. We'll just grab it off of this board. Right there. Okay. Polarizer really makes things look yellow. Yeah, so here's no polarizer. Okay. And then when I start turning the polarizer, it starts darkening it up. I think that's about right there. And everything looks really yellow. But it does make it a little bit more crispy. Crispy and clean. Crispy and clean. Only 143 people voted. I think nobody got the joke. Nobody wants to vote on that joke. They're like, my name is not Dave, so I'm not going to vote. Dave's not here, man. So are there really 16% Daves out of 156? So what is that? What percentage is that? Or what number is that? 159, 16%, 159. So 20% of 160 would be 32. So we're like at, there's actually 20 Daves or 23 Daves here. What? That's a lot of Daves. All right, we got that one pulled off. Oh gosh, I know, we're just being silly. Too silly. This is why people don't like the stream sometimes. They're like, you're just too, we need serious. We need all Mr. Serious. All right, so I got that power management chip taken off. We don't know if this is going to be the issue, but we're going to do one thing at a time. I think if we replace the power management chip and it's still doing it, then we'll replace the EC chip, and if it's still doing it, then we're going to throw the board across the room, and then we'll see if it fixes it. I'm just saying, I'm pulling your chain. Isn't Dave the guy with the airplane repair? He might have been. You were talking about the old laptop? Old laptop, 1995 laptop? Or running, or 97 running Windows 95. Come on. Okay, that's good. Let's clean up our pin out. I think we have a merged pin there. Right there. Should we leave that just like that? No, we shouldn't. All right, the poll ended. All right, so we have 75% no. So 25% of the people on Twitch is a Dave. And this is official numbers, by the way. And 15% of the people on YouTube are Daves. That's a lot of them Daves there, man. That's a lot of them Daves. Okay. Good. Good. You don't look old enough to have Dave's not here gag. Dave's not here. Yeah, that's going to be Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. And they got arrested, and they're at the police station. And yes, I've watched that movie a million times when I was a teenager. Blah! Dave's not here. Blah! You guys are funny. Do I look young or something? I'm 45 years old. I've seen it all. Seen it all. Okay. We're back to this. So we're just going to quickly install it, see if it fixes the issue. That'd be nice to just resolve the issue and have another win on our books. Meow, meow, meow. Blah. Yeah, he's just, that was such a good production. I mean, a good movie done for such low budget. I don't know what the budget was on that movie, but it was not very much money was spent on it. And it was so good. Now the other movies, Nice Dreams, things like that. Save the whales. Do, 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 do. You funky mama, save them whales. That's the intro song to Nice Dreams, if you're not familiar. The weed van, yeah, and then the cop turning into like a lizard, and you know, very cheesy idea, but or the swimming pool that was a fake like pot growing area, and then it got ripped, and so he's acting like he's swimming on with the helicopters looking at him on the ladder. People who haven't seen this are like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're crazy. All right. Sister Mary, class, shit up. You're the guy from the hamburger train, right? Pee Wee Herman. The hamburger train. Woo, 45. Is Sister Mary legal in Texas? There is, I think they just blocked all of that, whatever pseudo stuff where it's like Delta 9 and whatever, I don't know, THCA or whatever. They had that legal for a while in all these head shops, and then now they just blocked all that. So the workaround is no longer good with all that stuff. I don't do any of that, but that's what I hear. I'm too old for that stuff. All right, let's plug this back in. All right, so we post off the battery first, and then we'll post off of the AC adapter, or should we just go straight to the AC adapter? Maybe we'll just go straight to the AC adapter. All right, power meter's right there. We'll plug it in. It has to go through a CMOS reset. No, it's not legal. It's illegal to sell, which is odd. Basketball Joe, always dribbling. Always dribbling. It becomes legal in November. What? Okay, well, you guys know more than me. Are you doing a Dell repair or any other laptop? All the stuff I'm going to be doing is Dell and Alienware. So this is going to be an XPS, a Dell XPS that we're working on right now. That was a spill. Oh, is this going to fix it? So it always works on the first time after a CMOS reset, you remember? So this is off the AC adapter. This doesn't mean it's fixed. It's only after the CMOS reset's done is when it's not going to work. What made you choose to specialize in Dell? So when I started this company, when I was 21 years old, that was 24 years ago, I got a load of Dell stuff. I'm here from Austin, and Dell actually started in Austin. I got a load of Dell semi of stuff and started selling it on eBay, and then started listing it on my website. And then kind of figured out, oh, I just kind of specialize in Dell laptop stuff, and we became the experts in Dell. And there's no, I mean, we're so busy with what we do. We're, you know, that's all we do is Dell and Alienware, and so it's hard enough to keep track of all that stuff. So trying to become a specialist in other brands doesn't make sense because we are the go-to place. So schools, government, and all the tons of repair shops across the nation order from us, and then we drop ship for tons of different companies too. So we are the vendor for so many people. And then repair is like really small. Like it is actually like last year was only 3% of my business. This year we're up to about 7%, but it's still not very much repair. Okay, so here we go. So it posted. I'm going to unplug the battery or the charger real quick. I just want to plug it back in, kind of reset that, and then I'm going to power it on. And so we'll see if this is a thing here. I definitely need a backup site and download everything in host. And I have a dev site was set up. We actually were able to use my development site. My website went down today for half the day, and so I was able to use my developmental site. It's still doing it. The keyboard backlight's on. And was able to use my dev site for internal stuff, so looking up stuff and processing the rest of the orders that were placed and things like that. You could still order like on eBay or Amazon and things like that, and then those would actually sync to my site just fine, but it was just the other stuff. So our workaround for illegal to sell or illegal to own giveaway for free, but accept donations. The workaround is, oh, okay, that's interesting. I haven't heard about that. All right, so it's still doing that. Let's see if it posts on battery. EC chip time, yeah. So we're about to do the EC chip next, since it is an EC error. And then we're going to have to go polyfuse time, I guess? I don't know. I'm assuming. Louis Rossman dropped a video. I'll be back. All right, have fun with that. Time for some chair rants. So it is powered on again. Okay, wait. Now we're on battery and it's not working. But let me make sure it's all the way reset. Let me hold it down. Did you check the caps? Oh wait, the cap on PC 3104. I saw a missing cap earlier. I mean, there's always things missing. But yeah, I'll look at that. I'm trying to hold down the power button to reset this. Polygamous fuse. Okay, there we go. So I held down the power, reset it, and turned back on. Okay, so that's good. All right, Louis Rossman and his cats. Old Clinton. All right, let's just do the EC chip next, and then, I mean, I can go look for that cap if you're talking about 3104. Where's 3104 at? Is it on this near the CPU side, or is it going to be on that back side? I don't think the cap's going to be the issue, most likely, unless it's partially shorted. But since it's running on battery, so the thing is, this is on main power rail, or this is sensor stuff, so it's probably not posting because it's having that polyfuse issue. And no battery now, CPU side. I can't post it without a battery, it won't work. CPU side, okay, so if it's on the CPU side, it's probably not going to be the issue, unless these polyfuses connect to, I'm like thinking aloud. I sound like an idiot sometimes when I'm thinking aloud. Unplug the touchpad. You want me to try doing it without the touchpad in? That's an interesting idea. I will try that for science. So, but we'll have to go through CMOS reset again. But let me just do that. I'm going to leave the touchpad unplugged. Get this motherboard back in here. That's not plugged in. We do want to get all the science we can out of this. All right, let's power this back up. Let's give that a second. Can you find the polyfuses? Yes, I'm going to look for those. So while this is booting back up, let's get a board out. So here's our board, and let's look for some polys. So polyfuses are going to look like these big P's, the big old P's. So these are all caps. Those are tantalum capacitors. So I don't see any polys over here. So look on the other side. Scanning, 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 scanning. I didn't see any polys. Didn't see anything. So now if we go over to our EC chip area, this is our donor board, by the way. I'm just doing that while the board's booting up. CMOS reset, so we can kill two birds with one stone, of course. This is the power management chip we just stole. So there's no polys over here either. 1304. You guys, you really want me to go to 1304? Okay, we're going to do that. So 1304 is going to be 1304. So CPU side, you said. It may not be written the same on this board. Let's check what this is doing here. Okay, that posted. Okay, keyboard's unplugged. Can't do anything there. I'm going to shut it back off. We're going to turn it back on. Could the polyfuse be in the EC? Maybe. Usually I see polyfuses around. Usually they're near like the LCD screen. But if there's a polyfuse that powers the CPU, maybe? Is the keyboard backlight on? I can't see. Oh, there's no keyboard backlight because we don't have it plugged in. But are we pulling current? Okay, we're pulling current, right? 0.2. Okay, so it's back to that again. So the keyboard's unplugged, and when I press it, it's only pulling 0.2. And so I'm assuming it would give us that light, but we don't have a light code because the keyboard's not plugged in. So, but we have isolated it at least to know that it's probably having that same thing. All right. So let me pull this board back out like we were saying. Let's see if we can find the 1304 and I don't know what else. The EC chip, change the EC chip out. Anyone who has a tech question, please wait till the end. So yeah, if you're asking me to try to help diagnose something, you can log into the Discord and do exclamation point Discord, and you ask questions there, or you can wait till the end and I'll do a just chatting, and then you can kind of ask questions there, and I'll do my best to read most of the questions and answer those. Do we have a board view for this? 30, I think I might have one. But let's look over here. I'm going to take this back off. Board views are weird with trying to find certain types of items like a polyfuse, because I don't know what the designation is. So we need to find 1304 just so we can appease the 1304 people out there in the world. Question, why is motherboard? Have you ever tried a hammer? If I had a hammer. All right, so 1304, is it going to be under this heatsink? Do I need to take the heatsink off of this 1304? Motherboards are really turning into a pain in the ass. Hey, Nathan. How old are the videos currently going live on your channel? Sometimes they're 2 months old. It depends. I mean, I have stuff, I don't know. Stuff gets kind of put in the in the queue, and eventually gets edited. So, but I can tell you right now, I don't film something on Wednesday and put it out Saturday. That does not happen. It's usually, if it's going out on a Wednesday or Saturday, it's probably been sitting for a month usually, or something. I don't know. I have stuff just kind of collected. So, and I try to put longer ones out on Saturday and shorter ones out on Tuesday or Wednesday. All right. Did we figure out 1304? I'm about to skip this 1304. I need to know if it's under the heatsink or not. You're loving the stream. C4 will fix it. A bit left where you replace the fuse. Okay. All right, where I replace the resistor? I replace the resistor right here. Because there's no 1304s over here. Why is it making me? I'm about to give up here. Oh. Okay, I saw it. What? It was on the other side? When are you coming to Jamaica? I don't know. I need to. Jamaica be crazy. Need to go down there. So is it on the other side? You saw it. You're kidding me. You saw it. What's up, parts people? Thumbs up button. All right. Where? You guys are killing me. This is... I wish there was a way to, like, someone else to do this. 1304. Okay, there's 1304. So you're saying that that's missing. So this is how it always is. And I want you to kind of know this. We have populated parts and we have unpopulated parts. So that's unpopulated, unpopulated. They call it no pop or no stuff, 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 no stuff. So they're all over the place. So this is nothing to worry about. This is just how it is. So they'll create pads and they'll either stuff or they won't. So what will usually happen is the engine nerd will tell you you need all this stuff, and then the financiers or the people who are saying let's make this as cheap as possible will say we don't need that cap, and then they won't put the cap there. So all right, so I'm glad we got that resolved. Let's replace the EC chip, I guess, because that's really the next thing on the agenda. That's not... Oh, that's 3104. Dyslexia? Is that what you're saying? Accountants. Is that 3104? That's 3104. So you're saying 1304. So now we need to get over to... You're freaking kidding me. So I still have to search? I'm about to freak out, people. About to freak out. MD, major dysfunction, explains it. This motherboard has multiple models and the components required. Oh yeah, so I definitely don't have a board review for this board. I can tell you that because I don't have, this is a different version of the board. This has the ARC, the Intel ARC on it. Freaking out, man. Okay. Let's see if we can find your 1304. So 13 would be in the 1-3 area. 1-3. So we're in 28. Just replace the EC chip. I can't find this 1304. I don't know where this 1304 is. I want to know. They made up 1304. All right, I'm replacing this EC chip. Executive decision. No more 1304 for you. No more 1304 for you. Okay, so we're going to replace the EC chip next. EC chip is responsible for turning on the board, does all the communication, speaks to all the different parts, and make sure that like charging correctly, make sure that there's no issues, and if we have a blown line or some sort of corrosion, what if there's corrosion under the EC chip and we just didn't notice? That'd be funny. It didn't look corroded over here though. Looks fine. Looks fine. But let's replace it because there could have been some sort of power surge through here. All right, let's do it. So we're going to pull this off. Isn't 1304 Firewire? Yes, Firewire. Yeah, IEEE 1304. Yes. All right, so we're going to pull this off. We're going to try to do a clean pull so we don't have to do any reballing tonight. I don't feel like reballing anything. Okay, give it a bath. Give it a bath could fix it too. So let's preheat the area. And then we'll put some flux on it. Properly calibrated Firewire. Time is at 9:06. I'm getting tired. Getting tired, people. Besides the surface corrosion that could be inside the board layers, I don't know if the water damage is that bad. So I'm not pointing towards that, but we'll get that there. All right, we're going to try to get this as clean as possible. Got new coolest fans. Thank you, Feed, for the new membership. What you're looking for is a fake heart. He's spaced out. Old MacDonald had a All right, so once we get this melted, then we'll start tapping it to try to do a clean pull. There we go. Okay, so we do that a few times. We're gonna let it cool off just for a second. And then I'm gonna put this right here. Do I sell PTM 7950 on our website? I do sell, not the Honeywell version, I sell the Thermal Grizzly version of the PTM, so I do have that in stock on my site. I haven't been able to get a contract with Honeywell, so I have the Thermal Grizzly version, which is good. All right, and I pulled it straight off, straight up, and we have a clean pull. All right, so a clean pull is whenever we can pull it up and we have equal sized balls on both sides. It's pretty close. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty good to me. So I think we should be able to just transfer over another one. If not, we'll have to reball. So we're gonna pull this one off of this other board over here. 1394 is the Firewire, you're right. 1394, triple IE, 1394 Firewire. Is this the same BIOS chip? Yeah, it's a MEC 5200 LJ. I think I have one of those over in my Soren's box area. Soren's box right here. MEC 5200 LJ. Should we use Soren's box or should we pull this one? Should we whisk it? The balls are fine. Super confident. No, this will fix it. I'm not super confident. I say try to pull it. Soren's. Oh no, it's always I ask these questions and I'm like, what do we do? I need a drink of water. Get one from the box. Step 1, grab one from the box. Step 2, is it gonna work? I have no idea. I say we'll do it for science. Yeah, I'm gonna just put the Soren's one on here because it's already good. It's brand new. Brand new. So we're gonna line it up like that. So the dot is right there. No, don't you do it. And then we just need to line those up like that. It's a coin toss. Yeah, because the donor board is just gonna be as unlikely of working or likely or not working. This is not the cleanest to pull. I can see some of the balls look bigger than others, but I think we'll be okay. We'll see what happens here. So I'm going to line that up just like that. See what we can do here. Now if the machine doesn't come on at all, then we know that we probably need to reball this thing. Door number 1, door number 2. Okay, we'll move away, let it cool off for a second. And it is kind of stuck, so that's good. And then we'll just refloat it one more time. We should get it in the right spot. And a little bit more. There we go. Proper nice. Proper nice. What hot air station do you use? It's the Atten, whatever it is, 862D. I have it linked in the video description. I think. Do I? I don't know if I do. I usually have all that stuff linked in there, but that's the Atten 862D. Come on, are we going to move or what? There we go. Proper nice. Okay. Step 1, cut a hole in the box. That's pretty funny. You're talking about the SNL skit, I think, right? I think you are. Better than factory. Step 1, cut a hole in the box. You're killing me. That's pretty funny. Atten was the best purchase I ever made. Yeah, I had another hot air station before this, and it was, it's the one I have at home now. It's like a AOK or AIOK or some really cheap brand, and it's not hot enough. I could never get anything to, like wouldn't be able to change a MOSFET out or something on a CPU MOSFET. Step 2, take a 16-pound sledgehammer. Okay, proper nice brand new. All right, so before I even try to reassemble, I just need to see if it comes on, because otherwise we may be in big trouble. There we go, plug it in. 20 volts, it should go down. Should go down. Should go down to 0.03. No, it's not doing that. 0.7, 0.8. That's not good. Something's wrong. Is it coming on? Nope, something's wrong. Something's wrong. That's not good. That doesn't look right to me. I don't like that. No, sir. Don't like it at all. Let's plug this back in. .09. Should go down to 0.03, then come back up, and then shut itself off. Oh, power management chip's on fire now. Great. Did you see that? Okay. Proper, nice, shoddy job. Let me pull this back off. Hopefully we didn't blow out our power management chip. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired, man. Okay, let me pull this back off, and let's try this again. Let's try this again. Are you glad that I didn't reassemble and test? Reball would be the safer route. That's right. So the question is, do we reball this chip? I think we need to probably reball. Yeah, let's just reball. We need to call it a day. We understand. Okay, I'm going to give it a little more time. I don't know. It'd be nice to get this one. Because I want to figure out if we have an issue with the EC chip itself or if it's something else in the chain, right? So clean pull. Look, we don't have any weird stuff mixed together here. All that looked fine. Is this a bad EC chip? Is this a Soren's box EC chip is no good? Oh, it's so hard to know. Never surrender. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Fresh day makes things run much better. Grab a hammer. Step 2, grab a hammer. Should have pulled it. All right, let's look at these balls here. Let's see if these look good. So some are big, some are small. So I think we're going to have to do a reball. Yeah. Why did the power management chip get so hot? Why did the power management chip get so hot? All right, I'm going to clean this off, I think. Do the hammer test. So we're going to prep for a reball, and I'm going to pull it off the other board and do that. I feel like that's going to be my more not wasting time thing, because I am getting really tired. But I want to win. So you guys understand that, don't you? Soren's box for the loss. We lost on that one. So we're going to try to clean this up. Good. Perfect. They're all even. I guess we can remove all this stuff here. In general, I don't like removing all this excess because I don't like messing up the solder mask here. It's going to be very gentle. I'd rather almost just leave the balls there, or whatever's left there. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Alright, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And then I've done this before where I'm like, oh, I'm just wiping like this, and then it grabs a pad and rips it off. So I'm like, gotta be very careful here. I'm just gonna roll that. Okay. Pretty prepped. So there's a couple that still have a little bit of solder on there, but that's not gonna be a big deal. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. All right, so that's ready to go. So now we need to get a nice new one. We're gonna pull this one, and we're gonna reball this one. Okay. Oh, I'm getting rickrolled Brick rolling now. Never gonna give up. Never gonna give you up. Properly calibrated sledgehammer. In dire straits. Alright, so we don't have to be too careful on trying to pull this off, but solder wick for LLM. Yahoo! Reball for science. What science, I tell you? Thanks for helping me fix my Dell Mini 9. What? Got a replacement part from Dell Parts. People are amazing. That's crazy. Yeah, I actually still have some Mini 9 stuff in stock, huh? Alright. Got that pulled off. There it is. Brand new. Alright, let's get this thing reballed. Move on with life. So these are BGA chips, ball grid array, and they have these gridded balls underneath that need to be all equally in size. And so when we're doing the original clean pull, we actually pulled it off. And what we're trying to do is leave a little bit of solder on the chip and leave a little bit of solder on the board and try to equally kind of put them back together. Now, if you do a perfectly clean pull, then it's easy enough to do that. But I don't know if I did a perfect one, so I don't know. I don't know. Better call Solda. Sold her. Alright, so I'm going to take off all the old unleaded solder, and then we're going to put some leaded solder on here, and then we're going to clean this off completely clean. With my solder wick, wherever that went. There it is. Solda? I barely knew her. Man, there's a lot of comedians out there. You guys are so funny. Good luck. Thanks for sharing. I fixed 4 laptops watching your videos the other day. What? Good job. Wow, AJ. That's great to hear. Wow. That's impressive, for sure. Well, no problem. Glad to share. I have fun sometimes, but I am exhausted most days. Okay, that's done there. We're going to use the old magnet stencil right here. I need to find the right stencil pattern like we did last time. Did we reball this type last time, the other day? Can't remember. Wait, what did you say? Solder is pronounced differently based on the region of the United States. That's right. Solder is a silent L, and then solder is a different way of pronouncing it. And that's coming to my defense because I don't pronounce it the way everybody else does. See if I can find the right stencil. I think it was this one. All right, so I have a multi-stencil here, and we're just trying to find one that matches and lines up. And I think it was this one that goes to it. Let's see. Was this the same chip that I just dealt with the other day? I think it was, wasn't it? Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. It's just a happy little stencil. All right, so that's lining up right there just fine. I think we're going to be able to use this without even cleaning it because we use that corner over there. So can we get away with this without cleaning it? So here's our magnet. We want to make sure to put the thing right in the middle, right there. And then I'm going to try to set this down as clean as possible. Oh, it's still, do we have enough flux on there still? I think we do. Because we need this to be sticky enough so that the stuff actually sticks to it. Right, set it down just like that. Perfect. Are we good? Okay. The more pattern. Oh yeah, whenever it's like overlapping a little bit and then changing, it's making this little pattern. Oh. Solder, cheers. Thank you, solders. Gritty, kitty. All right, so we're gonna use a little of this solder paste. The stuff that I have is just some stuff I picked up on Amazon, but I had to let it dry out, so I just leave it open. And you want it as dry as possible. And I don't need any hairs in there. Get out of there, hair. I'll try to mash it down in here. There we go. And then we're going to come at it from a different angle just to make sure. Okay. And then I usually just use my finger to clean up the rest of it like that. There we go. All right, low air pressure or air speed, and what did we do? We took the nozzle off, I think, for it to work better last time, so let me do that. But I'm not going to burn my hand this time, am I? Oh, no. Okay. Nozzle's off. We're going to do 400, but I'm going to use a airspeed of like 15 with no nozzle. Okay. Are we good? Everyone good? Nozzle off, gloves off, and get ready for satisfaction. No burn today. So we'll just do this slowly. Close your eyes. Put the goggles on. Need dog, raw dog in it. Here we go. Goggles on. What a beautiful air station. You see anyone selling quick change nozzle holders? Quick change. That'd be cool if you just press a button and it goes clink and it just changes the end. What temperature? I'm at 400 and then I'm using 15% airspeed with no nozzle. I mean, you can use whatever you want. Some people do 440. You can do lower, but it's going to take longer. We're just trying to bring it up, and then once I get it about right, then I'm going to kind of hit it more, a little more directly there. All right, should start to go. Okay, get ready for satisfaction. Here we go. It's about to go. It's about to go. Ah. Serenity now. Insanity later. There it is. Okay, so I want to make sure that we're going to do it just a little bit longer to make sure it does stick to the chip very well. Okay. We're going to let it cool off. Now, I don't want to lift the stencil off while those are still kind of wet, I guess. Wait a second. It's cooling off. But we don't want to wait until it's all the way cool. We just kind of have to slowly do this here. Okay. I think we're fine. So I'm going to lift off just a little bit like that. I see some balls coming off in there. Let me... I know that some of them aren't supposed to be attached. But here, let's see. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Those were not supposed to be populated. Okay, cool. Those were not supposed to be populated. Now I'm going to switch back to my chip holder, I think. All right. So what we want to do now, if you notice the stencil was all the pads, or all the balls, all them balls. And some of these are not supposed to be there, right? So like this one doesn't go there. This one, I just want to make sure that we have, for the majority, they're all kind of stuck here good. But the ones that are supposed to come off should just come off. There we go. We want to get them out of here. So that one, that one. So those all actually look pretty good. So I'm going to use the softest toothbrush I have. That's how I usually do it. There we go. This one's really soft. And I'm just going to kind of wipe it gently here. There we go. Gently. Make sure I don't lose any that are supposed to be there. Get that one out of there. Get that one out of there. That one, that one. Okay. I think that's correct. Yeah, that looks good, right? Oh, now we just added the ball back in there. Okay. I think that looks correct, right? Now I just need to reflow it. Extra one in the middle still. Here, I guess we can look at these other ones. So the pattern's supposed to look like, so it has space, 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 and then symmetrical space in the middle. And that looks fine. Okay. This right here, right there. Yeah, got that one. Okay, all good. All right, so now we need to make sure that these are ready to go. So they're not ready right this second. So I'm gonna add a little bit of flux here, and then I'm gonna reflow it one more time. And you'll see them all kind of spread out after that. So watch. Get ready. Get ready, Freddy. You want them all to get shiny. There they go. There they go. Look at those. Look how pretty they are. Okay, now it's ready. Okay, that one's done. It was a little bit of a chore, but a little side detour. Is it gonna fix it? I don't know. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. Okay. Magic Mike. UC is not the issue though, but it's for science here. That'd be funny. Well, the thing is that our power management chip might be blown now because when we put it on there, it got really hot. So I don't know. Where's our pin 1? I can't tell. Can't tell. There it is. Right there. So we're going to rotate it this way. Okay. Okay, here we go. Are we going to get a poll going? Yeah, is it going to be the power management chip? Oh, I need to end on here. All right, so I'm going to tell you what right now, guys. If this doesn't fix it, I'm going to have to call it for the night because I'm exhausted. I can just feel myself just kind of collapsing. And if we want to have a little bit of time of just kind of chatting, then I need to stop after this, okay? So this will either work or it's not, but we're going to be done with it, and then I'll have to keep working on it tomorrow. And, I mean, I guess I can change the power management chip if it ends up being that. But let's get this lined up perfectly. Good. Preheat the board a little bit. It is just right. Okay. I'm going to tell you it works now, right? It better work now, then it will feel like I actually accomplished something. Here, I need to turn on my air. I have a repair question in the chat. Okay. Can't answer that right now. there we go. Need a fund for stencils. I have so many stencils, yet there's so many chips that I don't have stencils for. That's just the way it is. Okay, all right. Oh, little baby Jesus. What the what was that? Oh. Okay, I quit. Yeah, this needs to be rebowled. There's a couple pads here. I might be able to put some bolts. I quit. I don't know. I think I'm just too tired. I can't believe that just happened. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't handle this anymore. Can't do it. I'm so freaking tired. I've been here for a long time today, and I'm just gonna have to call it. And I can't concentrate enough to even do it, and I've had a stressful long day. So big balls of flying balls. Ugh. So I will report back. I'll make sure to put a update on whether this fixed it or not, and maybe, yeah, I can shut it down, man. What is it, 9:30? Yeah, I've been here 14 hours. Okay, let's do a little bit of just chatting for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I got to get home. I'm to go to sleep. I'm tired. Or watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. No, I'm not gonna be able to stay up and do that. I'm so exhausted right now. Started with a win. Did a lot of science. Today was good. So, yeah, if I can get this thing put on here properly, it will work a lot better. We'll go back to that view. So here's a part of the stream where you can ask me questions. You can ask me technical questions. I'm going to do my best to try to keep up with chat, but my brain's not functioning that well, so I will read as fast as I can, but the chat kind of moves really fast for me. So always love the stream, love the work ethic. Have a good night. First time watching, it's been a pleasure. Well, thank you, Joel, or Joe. Come back and watch again. It's twice a week. So smell the bourbon, though. I'll have a little nip maybe, but I'm pretty tired. I might. Giveth and the earth bloweth away. I like that one. That's pretty funny. Kino movie. Thank you, brother. You look after you. Entertainment. Oh, wait. So we could be entertained by you longer. God, my brain. I'm having a hard time reading. Safety is always a good peace of mind. That's how accidents happen. I bet you this is not your first 14-hour day. No. Every single Wednesday, I'm here for 15 hours usually. So it's that's whenever really my brain starts shutting down. But today has been an extra stressful day, so I think my vitamin levels are even low, and so I took some extra vitamin B today, but I don't think it's helping. What did you use prior to having a microscope? So I used a cell phone for a while. I used one of those microscope or those magnifying glasses that went here, and then I had my cell phone mounted under there. It doesn't work that well. So our stream days random. No, I stream twice a week, and it's going to be Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central and Sunday at 9 a.m. Central every single week. So join in. I'll schedule them ahead of time. You'll get like a notification. So if you just kind of follow and do the bell icon, you'll get the notifications of it. If you watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, darn it, these chats are moving too fast. Hey Nate, be good, safe way, reattach shields and stickers when they're weak adhesive. Double-sided sticky tape, you're talking about I just use double-sided sticky tape and just put a little piece here and there. Not hot glue, don't use hot glue, it's the worst. Have some tequila. I do have some tequila at home right now. I have some añejos. I really like añejos. So it happens you should do a sleep study, though. If you snore, you get tired, and for a few hours. So yeah, CPAP machine. I know. I need to do it. I think I'm going to attempt a BIOS reprogram on my Latitude or Precision Ultra 7. Doesn't pan out, I will be reaching out to you and shipping it your way. All right, sounds good. But if it's that new, then it's probably still under warranty. Is that correct or not? So you're going to have to think about that. Problem solver. Solve Probler. The chat's moving too fast for my brain. Should I replace the laptop or a CPU fault error or get it repaired? So if it has a CPU fault, then the motherboard just needs to be replaced. Usually. I mean, I'm not going to do anything else. Let's see. Gosh. Extra special. This chat, I can't get it to stop moving. Stop moving, chat. Okay, here we go. Can I use this one? Northwest Repairs in the house. Is he really? Where is he at? Donate. Where are you at? Gosh, I can't even do this. Nate is thermal throttle. Yes, that's exactly what I feel like. I'm trying to read it, and there's so many words. Like, here, let me show you what it's doing when I'm trying to read this. Let's see if I can pull that up for you. So, yeah, you got the crazy screen. But so as you're doing this, I scroll up to try to read a message, and then it jumps right back down to the bottom over and over again. So every time I'm trying to read it, and it makes it hard. It makes it very hard. Random streaming? No, it's always the plan. I never random stream. Actually, let me pull up this other chat window. I think I can manage this one better. Let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah, this one I can manage better. Thank you. Had fun. Great next show. Let's see. I have a Dell laptop and this DVD drive doesn't work. Internal drive works. So we have DVD drives. You can either buy the exact one, or you can just get a bare drive and you kind of pop off the faceplate and all that stuff, or buy a drive that doesn't go to it that's in our inventory, and then you can transfer everything over. Lots of GGs in here. Cheers all. Have a great weekend, rest of the weekend, and see you next Wednesday or next Sunday. Thanks for the stream. Oh, next Sunday. Oh, I'm not going to be here Sunday. I forgot. I'm going to be out of town. So no stream this Sunday. I'm out of town. All right, mark that down, everyone. Out of town. I totally forgot about that. Thank you to all the mods. Live stream will be done with my twin brother. I'll have my twin brother sit next to me, and he'll ask me questions. He's like, why are you doing that? He's not super technical. See you next Wednesday. Brilliant stream. 10 mega ohms is a short for a generator. 10 mega ohms? There's no short there. You're funny. Have a good rest of the weekend. Thanks for helping the community and to fix this eBay laptop. No problem. See you guys next Wednesday. Where is, let's see. I was typing fast. No problem. Really entertained, knowledgeable. Thank you. Your opinion is worthless, Redwood. Take care, all. Take care. Have you ever thought of having an invitational stream? Invitation stream. Is that meaning like having other people on the stream? Like having some sort of like group stream? Is that what you mean? Nate's capacitor has been depleted. Oh my gosh. Get some sleep. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna call it. I can't even keep up with that stuff. I'm so sorry, people. But I appreciate everybody coming out. Thanks for those donations. I'll report back on whether this worked or not. I am skipping next Sunday, so no stream this Sunday. I'll be out of town. So next Wednesday will be the next one. I know I missed 2 Sundays recently, but it's gonna be good. It'll be fine. So anyway, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Just go ahead and like and subscribe, do all that stuff, so then you can make sure to catch all these other streams. And before you leave, hit the like button on this video so that way people can watch it. And appreciate everybody who came out, and thanks for watching.